Yeah. I'm at Grace Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address, and now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. Just fighting in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
Not gonna lie, Adam, I love that part at the end where it goes, I purposely wanted to scare people, like, it doesn't get old to me. Just kidding. So, hey, everyone. Okay, so obviously Blaine is missing in action. So, Blaine, hope you're getting a few extra Z's there or something. I don't know, dude.
I know.
Like, normally Blaine is like, even last minute, he's like right there, but I don't know. So, hopefully, if he can, CD will join us in a little bit here. If he can, I asked CD because the bottom line of tonight was really, I wanted, unless, let's see, Deb, do you have any personal experience behind the bars that you can tell us about?
Probably why she didn't come on tonight. She didn't want us to expose her criminal record.
Hi, Copper. Hey, everyone. I know. I feel like Deb, actually, who wants me to look them up here today? See how many charges you guys got, right, Adam?
Right. I think I saw Derek Farmer back there. Maybe we can.
Derek, dude, you ever spend some time in the joint? Bianca? Copper Horse. I know you have, definitely.
Right. If Cordy were in here, we'd know. We know that Cordy's served some time.
Oh. Christine. Are you joking or are you being truthful? No comments? I'll tell you why. The reason I'm actually asking is 3 strikes, he's out. It's really hard when you're a creator. Mind you, the same thing happened to Blaine. Like, he was having issues and then the one person didn't show. But when you're a creator, you're relying on people. Now, typically, these are off nights for Deb and Adam. And thank you, Adam, for joining me right now. Because I was like, Adam, come on here, bud. Right. So the thing is that it's really hard because you rely on people and to keep your word. So I'm very critical of that because I would never leave someone hanging, and I would sure give them advance warning notice. But again, it does suck. But if you never actually, so if you was it with Kegan? So yeah, it does make it hard sometimes. It happens now and again, but like I said, hopefully CD can make it on with this. Or if Steve from True Crime Rep, actually, He actually was doing a live. I'm not even sure if he was still live, but Steve from True Crime Web, if you're in here, feel free. So yeah, the whole point I wanted to do today was because yesterday we were, was it yesterday? No, day before. Yesterday. Yesterday. Yesterday we were analyzing, I'm not even going to mention the channel's name anymore, to be honest with you. He took down all his videos, whatever. So at no point did we attack that channel. What we
No.
were saying, in fact, that's why, hence, I made that secondary video. And if anyone wanted to go off on me, um, I and then they wanted to leave a rude comment, I blocked them and I got rid of their comment. Because why? Because the whole point is that just like channels will take our information and maybe don't like it and talk about it, because again, it's a creator's decision to do whatever they want, and if people watch, it's a crime shame. They know who we are, and the ones that want to take something that they didn't like because of a video that they didn't necessarily like, this had nothing to do with the creator of that channel. This was everything to do with Kegan Kline that was feeding probably this guy bullshit information. But regardless, why can't we critique that gentleman? Why?
Right. Or just look at it even. I mean, if you
I
look at
pulled him off.
like
Go ahead,
Murder She puts out an episode, and almost every channel, then ends up talking about the content they put out. Not everyone likes Murder Sheet. Not everyone likes the content they put out. Not everyone agrees with it. But you don't see Murder Sheet turning around and taking down all their videos and attacking people in the comment section of their podcasts.
But like I said, you know what? I did remember this gentleman because I remember one time I made a comment on one of his videos a long time ago, and a rude comment came back, and I remember going, "Oh, dick."
Right.
That's what I was thinking, and I couldn't remember what I had said back then. It wasn't nothing ignorant, but it was just I got a kind of a ruder comment back, and I was like, "Oh, really?" And so that's how I kind of remembered that person. So if he wants to be that sensitive, even though, thank you, because I did record all 3 episodes. Thank you very much, though, for the information, because it wasn't about you. It was about the person that you were bringing forth with this information and about Kegan Kline. And again, when somebody has 14 records to their name,
right,
we can't question the authenticity of his motive behind it. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, of course. Whether it's true or not, whether he was doing it for good reasons or not, that's between him. But he came out. When somebody inserts themselves, like Julian Powell, into true crime, and then the creator decides to use his real initials, right? Bad move. Bad move.
That's how I found him.
You know what, Adam? I remember when he said that about his real initials. You did it before I even got to it, so thank you, because that's how easy he was to find. You don't put somebody's real initials out there if you don't want to be found. Like, honestly, use anonymity or whatever you need to do. But when you insert yourself, whether his intentions were pure, I find it hard to believe, but who knows? We don't have any proof if it wasn't in that way. But at the end of the day, when somebody has that many records against them, and then they got this signature that's on the back of a picture, and just like CD had said, and I was thinking the same thing, you got this guy that doesn't even look like Kegan Kline. Really bad job of Holly's face as well. And you got this fat belly sticking out. Here, dude, let me get your signature. So Kegan Kline is probably feeding all this bullshit, of course, to people. It seems like he is. We don't, again, so people that get text messages would know this. Obviously, they're in jail for a reason, and they do things to get money. So what are the chances that this guy was probably, hey, Kegan, dude, I can probably make some money. I'll send you some money, chirp money. Kegan has 0 chirp money. No one's giving him money right now. Okay. So you don't think that it's a plausibility, like this is part of a, a little thing that, who knows? And like Kelly Brown said, what's the next cellmate going to talk about with Kegan and insert himself into true crime, right? Makes sense. Hello,
Absolutely.
beautiful people.
Right.
Actually,
And I would just think, I mean, I didn't hear anything before I came on the live last night of you bashing that creator at all.
didn't at all, not once.
Even if someone had, I would think if you were a journalist, and I'm not questioning his credentials, but I do think if you've been a journalist for 26 years, I would think you'd have a little bit thicker skin.
You know what? Exactly. So my point of that second video yesterday was to show, hey, you're sitting here saying that we're the circus act. You're sitting here saying that we're a disgusting channel. You're saying all these things. And yet we never said anything bad about him. So that whole video was about, hey, look, we never dissed you at all.
Right.
We were analyzing and critiquing the person that you said had this legit information. Not to say that the guy's not real. Obviously he is. But is it not okay? Like, so we only have to have his perspective. But it was this stuff. That guy went off, didn't he, Lewis? That guy went off on about like 12 messages at least, saying how incomprehensible, despicable, how this, how that. Dude, honestly, fill up your baby bottle or something, because you obviously need a thicker shell. Because if I can take worse stuff than what's come at you, dude. Seriously. And we didn't even, like I said, knock you whatsoever. In fact, we gave you compliments. I take it back, actually. I take my compliment back. It's not deserved anymore. Because if you're going to go off that bad, so I just blocked him. I just said, whatever. And so if anyone wants to leave nasty comments about that, go right ahead and I'll block your asses too. Because I'm not putting up with that. We were very much kind to that creator. Amen.
I just want to answer really quickly. Double Rainbow said that other creators say KK gets tons of commissary money, so I'm confused. Just to clarify, the money that goes into your commissary account is different than the money that goes into your Chirp account. So the Chirp account is done through a third-party company, and so it goes to a different company than the money that goes to the commissary goes to. So he can have a lot of money in his commissary and have 0 on his Chirp.
Absolutely.
So I hope that cleared that up.
Yeah. I thought that was okay. Let's talk about murder sheets, actually, because I thought that was very interesting. So we all know that Kelly Brown.
Yet.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. Well, you know what
I
it
just
was.
got off work at 9.
Yeah. So Adam, basically, it was them going through. So we know that Holly went and visited him at least 40 times, even though they didn't use her name. But I'm going to call her out because that's wife Lilith. The one that's putting up all the trash videos. Yeah.
They were video visits like that. Yeah. I talked to Kelly today, and she told me that they were video visits because there's no actual in person.
Yeah, hers.
Which one? The Hollies were the 40 visits. They were physical. They were video.
They were videos. Yeah. Again, whatever with that. And then his dad was the secondary one that had the next amount of say visits or whatever. So it was very interesting because they went through his money and when people were sending him money, and right now, like Holly's not sending him money. Definitely Kelly hasn't been sending him money. So that's what they were going through. So I found that very interesting because and Kelly said the same thing as well today, that, it was very interesting listening to what, the information that they had about when he was getting money, who he got the money from, basically, even though they didn't use names. Besides, Kelly obviously was on there and she allowed them to use her real name and talk about it. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And again, Double Rainbows, a Chirp account is the money that when they have a chirping device, like, basically like a little tablet or something in jail, and people can put money on the Chirp account, and it goes towards text messages that they can send and receive and video visits that they can send and receive. So, sorry. But no, if you kind of to segue into from what you were talking about with the unsolved and then into into the Mercy thing, look at Kelly, Aaron, there's someone that's a perfect example of someone that can take criticism and someone that has a thick skin. And I'm sure she's probably gotten some backlash today.
Oh yeah, she did. I asked her. Yeah.
And and I'm sure that hurts, but I mean, I think she's passionate about this case, and that and she's willing to take that criticism.
You said that PayPal banner was in the way of chat, right? So I'll take that down.
If you watch it on TV.
Oh, if you watch it on TV. Oh, either way, it's running across the bottom. Somebody does. I'll make another one where I put it to the other side or something. I don't know. I just saw someone else do it on their channel. I thought, hey, good idea. That way I don't have to.
It is a cool idea.
Yeah. Well, it was just some people like on their like banners will have like their Facebook, this one, and this one or whatever. Right. I remember seeing that before, but then it was kind of one of those things when people did it as a logo. I thought, oh, that saves me always, whatever, like typing it out or using the little bot thing or whatever. But I want to make sure Streamlabs is up and going. Do you want to do me a favor, Adam? Will you just give out a couple of highs, like give the comments?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thanks.
Let me just scroll back here.
There's my Streamlabs. I love you.
Hey, Brett Decker. Hey, Double Rainbow. Hey, Never Silent. Metal Mama Michelle. Jill Mosier. Sharon Parker. Deb.
Yeah.
That's a troll. Polygraph. It's a Crimey Shame. Definitely a troll. Hey, Crimezilla. Hey, Lewis. I'm not going to sing it, but hey, Sweet Caroline. Aussie. Deb again. Hey, True Crime Housewife. Hey, Derek Farmer. Sexiest man on YouTube. Hey, Who Dis? Miss Thang. Christine Joy. I still see Freckled Joy when I see her name. Sorry, Christine.
I know. It's like Peace Not Silent, same thing.
Crystal P. Hey. Hey, Belinda. Hey, Daisy. Part of that lunch trio. She's part of that lunch trio that I'm mad at. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, Bianca. The Rockaways. Copper Horse. I haven't seen Copper Horse in a while. It's good to see you, Copper Horse.
Yeah.
It's Fig. Hey, Connie Mitchell. Yeah. Hey, Don Spain.
Hey, one second. Hey, Derek. Derek, you bored? You want to come on with us tonight? It's been a little bit. Are you busy? Doesn't matter. Just asking. You know me, YOLO. By the seat of my pants.
Yeah. Hey, Ruth Elizabeth.
I thought you said Ruth Elizabeth.
Well, I mean, I don't know her that well. I'm not going to call her Ruth yet. Hey, Remy Stuff. Hey, Lisa.
Hold on. Adam loves that, though. I'm all sweaty. It's up to you, dude. It's up to you. I'm all sweaty. Okay.
Are you? Hey, Queen of Ocean. Hey.
All right. I'll send you it through email, Derek.
Hey, Cold Truth. Okay, I think I'm about caught up. Ray Jones.
Yeah. Let me just send Derek. Old MacDonald had a farm. That's what I think of whenever I see farmer.
Right. Hey, Honeybee.
And then I think of bees, obviously. Well, then I think of, yeah, I know.
Hey, Carrie Ann. Okay, Mustang, Yoki, on your bow. I think I pronounced that right. Adam Boslug. Sorry. Okay, Moonchild. Okay, I'm going to stop now.
Cool. I guess I should put the link in for a CD too, if you can make it. I should do that. Let me find my way back here. Oh, so to answer your question, Ruth, no, he did not watch the video. Maybe a couple minutes, because Lewis literally said to him as he was going off on these rants, Lewis said, I find it hard to believe that you watched a 4-hour video in 17 minutes. All he did was get a call, and basically from the person, the source, and then came back to say that blah, 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 blah. Like I said, put a Band-Aid on it, boo-boo. I'm here. Lots of men at top fellow Canadians.
And to be fair, that video was only like 3 hours and 54 minutes.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, Adam. I mean, yeah, right. Okay, let me just quickly put this in the chat for CD.
Ray Jones said, if Adam misses your name, he isn't being rude. He just doesn't like you.
Okay, alrighty. Let's see. What do we got here? So yeah, because I'm very interested in, like, I was just really interested in like the whole ins and out of that stuff, right? Because obviously when you're like in, jail, the county jail or whatever, again, you hustle. Simple as that. You're hustling. Whether you're telling truths or lies, you're playing cornhole or whatever it's called. Being bag. You know what I mean? You're hustling.
Right.
You're trying to make some money. That's the whole point. Great. He said my name.
I mean, it's hard for me not to go to the obvious that, it's funny that they play cornhole in prison or jail.
I know. Every time I heard that, I kept laughing so hard. It just seems so right and wrong at the same time.
I went straight to like my 12-year-old brain. I was like,
I know. I went down to like even lower than that, to be honest. Adam, I heard you missed the lunch because of Deb stalking. No contact order against you. Something, you were close. Yeah.
I'm not legally allowed to discuss that.
Yeah. Gonna take the fifth. Oh, that's from Lisa. Huh, Miss Comedian over there. Huh, Lisa.
Hey, Deborah Lyons.
Lisa needs to come on the show. I gotta put a smile on my face and not scare her, because she says I scare her. So. No, I'm just kidding. Tomorrow night, just so you know. Oh my goodness, I can't even see. My eyes are so tired. I was working on the merch today. Let's see. Wait. There's too many people with all these crime names in their thing.
Right.
That's my problem.
Thomas says, I was the one who commented on T's video and pointed out to him that he left his source's last name on one of the documents. Oh, he was not happy with me.
Who was that? Wait, what? Oh. Oh, yeah, he left it on one of his documents?
Yeah, and I guess Thomas pointed it out to him, and the Unsolved was not happy about that.
No, but I can't see him being happy about a lot of things after the way he spoke on the comments, to be honest.
Right.
Thank you, Queen.
Right. Yeah, Thomas, same. When I pulled up because I found the guy really pretty easily, and when we put it, I redacted his name from the documents when we pulled it up last night.
Mm-hmm.
And his address.
Yeah.
Granted, I've seen it in Facebook groups today, but
yeah, I mean, I covered it up when I put out that video too for it. But I mean, again, if you don't want somebody to know, do not be using the real initials. Like, come on. That's just, that was just me, like I said, 101 on that one for a journalist. I'm not a journalist. I don't have to live up to your
You just called him Scott Washington. Isn't that the name that that guy uses on Andrew Mole's channel?
Yeah. Yeah, you did the right thing, Thomas. Yeah, no backlash here. You did the right thing, right? I was gonna say, unsolved. There's a bug flying. Unsolved crimes uncovered. Okay, that one just is out of my brain. So unsolved crimes uncovered. And you've probably maybe seen her sometimes in the chat. She will be on tomorrow night joining us. So that's someone that hasn't been on our channel before. But she came in here saying how much she loved us and stuff like that. And I was like, fine. No, just kidding. Something like that happened. Right, Adam?
Right.
Yeah, I know. It honestly, it doesn't irritate me, but it always makes me laugh when someone puts an O, SONNY, like Sunny. Because I go to Sunny and Cher when I think of that. And I'm like, well, if Graz. So Graz is channel got down. Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know. I don't know if he took. I don't know it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Someone had told me that, so I looked and didn't see it. So I don't. He may have taken it down. It may.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't give him. I'm not sure even when it happened.
Yeah. Who I never see in here anymore unless she's underneath a different name, is Melissa Becks. Melissa Beck. Remember? Melissa Becks? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, Chris. I have an update about Kristen.
Do you have an update? Oh, yes, right.
Yeah.
The update. Yeah, let's tell you about Kristen behind the crime door. And
she was in the hospital over the weekend. She is home.
One second.
So I sent her an email last night, and she just said that she's doing okay. That when she got to the hospital, they found out she had COVID as well as what she was there for, and she had just gotten her booster. But her husband is sick as well. She's taking a couple of days off from her channel to rest up, but then she will be back. So
yeah,
I will send everyone's love to her, but she is okay.
Oh, there she is. Mm-hmm. There she is.
Say nice things, Sunny.
Well, I can't. If you're in here, I can't talk trash about you now. Darn it! Oh, now you just ruined my live unsolved. No, just kidding. Hi, how you doing? I just stopped in and noticed you were talking. Yes, right. Happy to see you both tomorrow. Absolutely. Don't forget to email me back. Old McDerrick had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Hey, Derek.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Derek.
Yeah. How are you?
There we go. Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I mean, I'm not great. I mean, it's been one of those days where the water heater explodes in the basement, and you're sopping up water all night.
Oh, the water heater
shit like that, But now I'm pouring off a bourbon, and we're gonna have a drink with you guys.
That sounds
Cheers.
Heavenly.
I haven't had bourbon in forever.
Shit.
Oh, it's delish.
I got Captain Morgan sitting in the kitchen there that I noticed the other day.
Not since I'm a teenager, I can drink that stuff, Sonny.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, what do you mix with it? Boone's Farm, for Christ's sake.
I remember back in the day of RuneScape. This is when I got divorced from my ex-husband, and I was like living in my own place. And I remember kicking off my shoes, going, "Haha! I don't got to answer to anyone anymore." Me and that bottle of Captain Morgan and RuneScape, we were chugging it back, and I was having a good old time, And
where the rumors start, Sonny.
Oh yeah.
Well, exactly. Well, I know, right? Chugging it back, and that's when I met
couldn't afford it. Me and my friends couldn't afford the Captain Morgan. We had to get the it's like Admiral Adam or something like that, or I mean, I don't know. It was like the off-brand. It was like Corporal Asshole or something, and it was terrible. So I don't know.
No, but what's funny is that I absolutely always forget that I do drink. Like I haven't had. I can't I think.
I rarely
you know what? Now that I think about it, a couple of weeks ago, my husband bought these little peach drinks that were so good. But I honestly forget because I don't even remember and it's maybe because because I have diabetes too, so it's probably not the best thing to be doing.
That could have something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That could
I have a beer or two at night, but I don't drink that. I don't drink much when I drink.
Yeah.
See, I don't drink often, but when I do, I like to get a buzz. I'm not doing it because I do love. Actually, I learned that I like. Well, I have good taste. You guys know that, obviously. Here I am, but I mean, the bourbon has to be good. It can't be a cheap crap. I don't do that. I won't even do Jim Beam level anymore. Like it needs to be. I'm drinking something called Woodford Reserve. It's decent.
I like Woodford Reserve.
And I just like a little, like you guys said, but you do. I mean, it's way better than some, but yeah. I just bought it quick one night, and I thought I kind of reserved it for when I go on because I get a little nerved up, and tonight was no exception. Considering the subject. So I thought you better pour one off real quick before
I really want one. I'm going to get my husband and make me one in a minute. I am. Let me just quickly answer Christine. Christine, or sorry, Nicole. Sorry. So, well, I don't know why I was calling you Christine. I was having a moment there. I think it's because we were talking about Kristen. Thank you. It's Crime and Shame for keeping it 100% about finding justice for the girls and calling out people.
Thanks for that update, by the way. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Which one?
Oh no, I was just saying I wasn't on the air yet for the Kristen update. I had been kind of staying with contact with her, but I hadn't heard a recent update, and I'm really glad. And I missed a little bit of it actually because I was trying to get set up. Did you guess if she's home or coming home or?
Yeah, she's home.
No?
Yeah, she was
there
sold over the weekend, but she is home.
Okay. Oh, good.
Yeah,
I really like her. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, okay. Alexa.
I don't blame her.
Alexa. I'm not sure Alexa, but no. I just wanted to go. Hey Alexa, I just want to go back to that because I personally felt that Kegan is probably trying to sell this bullshit story to people. But even when you listen to this, like, why are we simply hearing this little story that goes, me, dad, I sat in Jeep, red Jeep. He went down, crossed the bridge, took the girls, accosted them, killed them. He came and got me.
I mean, yeah, sure.
It's such a joke to listen to. Right? Anyone that follows Delphi knows that would be a crock of shit, that didn't happen that way. So it's like Kegan Kline is playing people for idiots, but you have, let me put it this way, regardless, that person, DNR or whatever, okay, regardless, these people, okay, have 14 charges. These people are in jail for a reason. Of course, they're going to try to earn money. They're going to think of ways to earn money because that's how they get their money for chirps or commentary, whatever. Okay, so they're going to play people regardless. Why can't we look at that angle? And the chances are that it's true.
I mean, that's sort of what they do. They're criminals, right? I mean, you wouldn't expect them to do any less.
Right. So it's like,
that's
but it was almost
do.
like
criminals be criminaling, I mean, that's what they do. They wheel, they deal. I mean, I've known a few people in my life.
Heaven forbid.
I mean, look, it's always something. You're trying to game somebody or trade up or like trade two of these for one of those. I mean, it's
you know what?
It's no shock
and then
to me.
you know what though too? Like, okay, Alexa has been doing graphology. Am I saying that right? Graphology.
Graphology.
Yeah, for like what? Plus 16 years. Yeah. So when idiots leave comments about
knowledgeable,
experience, like if Alexa gets a vibe, even though it could be wrong, but she knows her own accuracy, So when she gets a vibe that says something's just not right about this, there's probably some truth to that. Because even I was sitting there last night making that video, the second one, just to be like, hey, you know what? We weren't knocking you, buddy. So, did it so you want to talk about arrogance? You're bragging about your worldwide attention and blah, 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 blah. You're saying that worth it?
I might have watched it.
You might have.
I might have watched it 17.
It was just a fact of, dude, don't come to our channel when you started the Circus Act. Even though it's fine. Put out information, that's fine. Go ahead.
I haven't said anything about any of this because I'm on both channels, obviously, and Sleuth hasn't. I mean, you haven't even said one. No one said anything about Sleuth. This guy calls in the Sleuth show on the fly. It wasn't a planned thing. Of course, he's going to take that call, and I thought he did wonderfully with the situation. In my opinion, first of all, going to give a shout out to my guy Sleuth. Second of all, I wasn't on that show. I was only sort of modding it, but I will say this: there's a couple sides here. I think, like most things in life, there are multiple sides to everything. And I think this guy, I mean, honestly, I think he felt like he put everything into it. And because your response, and I don't know where you're coming from after last week's fiasco with that information. I mean, I think everyone has a right to question sources and information. I watched your show or a lot of it last night, but I mean, I wasn't I watched and I didn't feel that you directly attacked the creator at all. So, and I'll be honest, I didn't. I just didn't. And at the same time, I think the creator is feeling defensive for his source. And that's where I want to bring that other side on, that he did his due diligence and he feels therefore attacked that maybe he's not legitimate. And I haven't talked to him and I'm not speaking for him, but I'm only giving my now opinion. of the situation, because I am going to walk this fine ass line because I love both of these shows and all of these people.
We know, Sleuth.
I'm not going to, and as a mod, I'm not going to put myself, I know it's not about you versus Sleuth. I mean, I'm just at the same time, I'm not going to get with the chat and pick a side. I am not going to do that.
You know
I'm
what?
confident
There's no need
in
of
the
it.
shows I like, in their narrative and their questioning. And if you, wherever you all take it, be it you, Adam, Deb, Sleuth, Steve, Marvin, Frank, throw Kristen in there. You could even put the mob crew on there. Chris, I like that guy too. I mean, whatever. You guys are going to do what you want. You're the creators of your own things.
That's the bottom line
I'm a
of
fan first. I'm a mod second. But I'll do my mod job. But I mean, if as best I can, because I'm terrible at it. I'm sorry. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to have a strong stance unless someone directly offends like my moral code or my sense of. And I didn't feel that, and I know, right? And I didn't feel that on any side. So I feel like I'm on safe territory here, saying that I see more than one side. But Sunny, I think you do have a point. You have a professional. I feel confident in her. Professional, by the way, she's a professional. I know, Deb. I know you don't have a problem with Sleuth, and I wasn't inferring that you guys did. We don't talk on the. I don't. No.
I didn't even. I personally didn't infer it that way. I just honestly, Derek, because Sleuth has his own channel, all these other creators, and I take no offense to whatever they do, or if they have this, like, great, like I said, the guy wasn't planning on going on, he just showed up, and so great for Sleuth, he got that live, and he got this guy to come on and talk, and all. Again, this wasn't even about the unsolved. This was, if he wants to take it that way, right? This was about.
I wish she would call in. I wish she'd call in to your show, and you guys would work it out. I asked the Unsolved to call in to work it out with Sunny. I don't know if Sunny wants to do that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm doing I don't know. Maybe that's bad. Adam, just shake your head or like hold up something and bad idea, good idea.
I'll be like, wait, my internet's going out.
Yeah. It's just that we all have the right to do as we like on our channels, and people have the right to watch us or not watch us. And I would not expect you or anybody else that's in the thing to ever choose a side, because it's not about choosing side. It's just about we're allowed to question this guy's integrity. But obviously that guy would have, called in the thing here, as well. I mean, I'd probably be sitting there going, hey, dude, just feed me what you got. But I would still be saying that the story was a crock of shit, because if it's coming out of Kegan's mouth, it's probably it's going to be a crock of shit. But you can't tell me that you cannot question it, because, again, we can look at different angles. That's the whole line. That's the whole point. So it's too bad that he took offense to it all.
That guy is a greasy, smelly liar. I think you hurt his feelings. Well, I like the guy too. I don't want him to now think I'm talking shit about him. I mean, but I'm sorry, dude. I had a drink. I think you hurt his feelings a little bit, and I think I think though at the same time, but I know he's not seasoned like you are though either, Sonny. Like, you've done a million shows.
He's 26 years of journalism.
Okay. I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
Derek
was a little bad for him, because I don't. Everyone, it was Kegan Dunker. That's the I'm just saying that I don't like to. This is why though, but this is why I wouldn't. And this is nothing I would even put in chat. You asked me to come on. I can't explain this kind of stuff in a 200 characters.
In chat.
One, my fat little fingers will be messing everything up. And so I'm glad that you did ask me. But my thought is there's no harm, no foul on anybody's side. I don't think he should have necessarily taken down his videos. I mean, he should be confident in his production skills. The shows were great, all three of them. I feel like he was professional. You and Lewis and everybody said, look, we want to make clear that we're just saying this DNR and Kegan, they're criminals. They're gonna criminal.
You know what?
And that means try to play people in any way they can, whoever it is, for whatever they can do.
Right. So that's life. For instance, the information and the conversation that they had is personal, and the information that he put out, again, is what he's being told. Fair enough. I'm saying that coming out of Kegan's mouth to this other guy, there's obviously coming out of Kegan's mouth is a bold-faced lie. That whole little story about Jeep Dad him, bold-faced lie. As for the rest of it, like I said, it
you always
doesn't
crack
mean
me up, man.
we're 100%, but it's like I said, what doesn't mean we're
Right.
100%, but we're allowed to have an opinion here,
Look,
and no one's going to ever stop that because we're
you know
allowed to
what?
have an
Here's the
opinion.
deal. Absolutely. That's the deal. And you guys and you guys have always been more than respectful. I mean, look, I don't think there's any bad feelings amongst creators that I get a sense of. I think, well, besides the new one, I think, but
Besides
again, it's like politics. Well, it's like politics. Your skin has to grow a couple layers sometimes, and sometimes you need to defend yourself. I mean, I know that if I was a creator, which I'm not, uh, if I felt like someone was dissing me or I didn't feel good about something, I would probably confront that head on and just call the show, and we could work it out right there. And I would explain my side, and if
Yeah.
we agree to disagree, then
Oh, yeah, we
whatever. But
do.
at least things could be amicable amongst
Yeah.
creators.
Well, you know what though, Derek, and I'm not sure that you saw those, but my line got crossed when there was like 12 posts telling us how disgusting we were, incomprehensible, what basically pieces of shit we
Yeah.
were, etc.
Was that in? Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yes, I
I
took it
did
off.
fall asleep. I did fall.
Yeah, I no, but that was in the
Yeah.
comments after, and like
Okay.
meaning
Oh.
so that's where it crossed the line for me, dude. I did not go
Yeah,
over to your
right. Sure.
channel
Yeah.
and put any comment on your thing. We literally just were discussing it. We were not knocking. In fact, we complimented him many times throughout that video, but it was for the fact that he left about 12 comments and he was being absolutely disrespectful. There was other, like, I only put the one comment up, but the whole point was to say, look, we weren't even knocking you down, and yet you're saying these nasty things about us. So and then all of a sudden I go back and there's another nasty post, and I'm like, okay, so I look at it all and I'm just like, dude, forget it. You're blocked. Because if that's how you want to talk to us and you're a journalist, and you're talking about integrity, ignore us. You don't have to, but no, you want to come in here and you want to use words, like when I say words, I'm talking about words. Most people could sometimes the other person will give us a slam or something like that. His was paragraphs of slamming. And I'm just like, dude.
I missed that. Oh,
yeah, I didn't. And honestly, I wish I only
guess.
screenshotted it, but my
Well,
iPad's, but
we
anyways.
could find them if we need her to.
But anyway, I don't want to keep going on.
I want to say hi really quick to True Crime Web, to Steve. Great guy. Everyone should definitely subscribe to Steve's show, True Crime Web. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you guys talking about
so yeah, I don't know. I guess the deal is if this turns out to be great information, I don't think anyone's going to be upset about it and go, well, you jerk for bringing it out. I'm just be confident in what you bring out. I don't even see and again, I'm not gonna it's not about me picking sides between Sunny and Unsolved, because I'm a pretty loyal person. Unfortunately, I even would probably pick the wrong side because I like someone more. And I'm not saying anyone's wrong, but even if you were, I would be like, well, too bad. I fucking like her anyways,
right.
It's like
you did that on
I don't even. I personally didn't even disagree with all of the content. I felt like some of the content possibly was not that it was credible because it was truthful, but credible because I believed that Kegan would tell someone that.
Right. Exactly.
And also, let me say, it's not as if you had it's not as if you had, like, say, like a pizza driver on your show analyzing handwriting and going, and then making that call. You actually had, what was she again? A graphologist. So, I mean, you do have, when you have those discrepancies, I didn't see a problem at all with that. It's called journalism, by the way.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, whatever. Right. I thought it is what it is. Again, I'm not. I didn't feel like getting into this one. I just really didn't. But I thought I'd come on and explain what I thought was going on, and that you basically dissed his source, and that he got his feelings. I don't know what else to say.
Again, if he wants to have his feelings hurt and he wants to take down his videos, that's his right. That's his prerogative. Again, I'm not here.
I'm not saying that's what it is.
No, but I'm not here to worry about. Yeah, honestly, like. I'm not like I get why his feelings might be hurt, but I'm thinking when you got 26 years of journalism behind you and you're doing this stuff, you have to have thicker skin, because I had to grow thicker skin with this stuff for sure. And like I said, but you didn't have to come trashing us like you did, without even watching the video first. So I don't care whatever he like. I don't care what other channels do. That's the bottom line, right? Like
Right.
it's not. It's I don't have like whatever he wants to do, he can do. It's what if he wants to hate me, hate me. If he wants to like me, like me. If he wants to take down his videos, take down. I don't care. It's his channel to do what he
Right.
wants
It's his
to do.
party, and he can cry if he wants to.
Yeah.
and that's a little. That's a.
Yeah. Let me ask
Oh, you're
Steve.
funny. I love it.
Steve
True
from
crime.
True Crime Web.
He was dancing.
And well,
Steve said
get
I
off
was
your
dancing. What
dancing.
did I miss?
Steve, do you have time to come on for
He
like
gave the
20
same
minutes?
answer I did, only I was sleeping. I like that.
Let's see. Let's see if you will.
Well, I questioned
Ooh,
last night.
I'll shut my mouth, you guys.
I questioned
When
that
Steve
Steve
comes
was
on, I
ever a law
promise to
enforcement
stop
officer.
talking.
Said that he was a Chippendales dancer.
Yeah.
Possibly.
What was that movie from England or whatever? The dudes got up on stage, and I can't. Those came out some years ago. All the girls loved it.
The Monty. I don't know. The Full Monty.
Yeah, Monty. Full Monty, right? Yeah. Which now that and I'm seeing Steve's face, and I just can't. So Steve, you should come on and just
It's more Magic Mike.
Steve's a full-grown man. He's
well, Steve, I need to ask
probably doing a
questions.
little
Wait, does CD say he can make it?
little
CD,
night fishing or something. Probably, I don't know.
That's it. 1 second here. It's because there's some. I just really wanted to talk about. So you've never been in the jail, Derek, at all? Or you just
Never been in the
people
jail.
with
I
them?
have been booked, or no, I've been fingerprinted. I've been
Oh.
fingerprinted, but I've never been behind the actual bars because
Sure.
when I was caught with the marijuana, they they made a little trick. Yeah, Steve might get a kick out of this one. They said
Hold on,
we're
hold on,
not
hold on,
gonna
hold on.
they
Here,
said we're not
here,
gonna arrest you.
here.
Go ahead.
Let me just quickly tell Steve what we're talking
What
about.
happened?
Steve, what the topic I wanted to talk about was inside of the jails and the stuff that, kind of like what the gentleman was talking about yesterday about playing cornhole and, like doing things for money. And if they have like those type of phones in there that you can literally just, I wanted us to have a clearer vision of that. Are you cool with that or no? It's up to you. I wanted to understand exactly, because obviously the
Okay.
people do things for money in there, right? Okay. So that's what we're talking about. That's what I wanted to talk about tonight, but Blaine didn't show up, and I don't know why he didn't show up tonight, but
okay.
it's whatever.
And as usual, if Blaine or Lewis aren't available lately, she hits me up to come on,
User.
Oh, use me all night. I love it.
No, because sometimes I see you in like Sluice and that when I pop in there, but
Oh yeah.
Every now and again it's like, hey Derek, come on, because I
Yeah,
see
I
you in
love
there.
coming here.
Yeah,
Absolutely
sure. Let me
honored.
get my
Absolutely.
finish my coffee. Okay, I'll send you their link through email, of course, Steve and Derek. I'm sorry. Continue your story.
Oh God, you want me to finish that story? Okay, so
No.
so when the hotel manager unlocked the door for the police, when they came in,
You were in a hotel room?
oh shit, I didn't say that part of the story, did I? Okay, wait, let's go back.
I'm like,
oh boy,
you gotta remember we interview people.
Look, this isn't. I don't want. First of all, I don't want to make light of a serious matter or subject, and that is suicide. Second of all, it ended up being an okay story, but yeah, I went to the fanciest hotel in town and took 48 hours to spend way too many dollars trying to do something I should have done, and got carted out of the fanciest hotel in town on a stretcher in the back of an ambulance to the hospital, and geez, I wasn't really planning on talking about that. What was it? Yeah. Oh, I had a little bit of weed. Sorry, it was about the weed. It was about the weed, not about that. Right. So I had some weed, and the cops go, "Hey, we're not going to arrest you." And I thought to myself, "That is so nice." I was crying and everything, I'm like, "You guys are so great." And then 2 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail that said, "Turn yourself in." And they said, "Yeah, we said we weren't going to arrest you. We didn't say we weren't going to charge you." So they just meant that night we're not going to arrest you, but they didn't say wait for a letter saying that turn yourself in. We're going to charge you with this. So I had like about 1 gram of weed, and I turned
Is
myself
that a
in.
lot?
I did what I had to do. I planned.
2 seconds.
It's about one joint, about one joint,
Oh,
one joint of weed. And before I went to see the judge, I got myself on where I was already doing community service. I got my own clean drug test. I had a great lawyer downtown. Folks, always get a lawyer downtown by the courthouse, because that way they walk there and they actually have lunch with the prosecutors and the judge and all that stuff. And I got half the amount of time that this judge. She was very tough, and she told the whole courtroom. She goes, "Derek Farmer, you're not just talking the talk; you're walking the walk." And she gave me half the oversight. I shouldn't say time. It was one joint. It is Kalamazoo, which is like the Sweden of the upper Midwest. But I had to still do that probation. I had to go see my probation officer for a few months. After I paid everything off, they let me off early. But the point is that no, I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes and I've been in bad places, and I got myself into therapy and got my shit back together. And I hope this has been 15 or so years ago now. But I mean,
and you've never smoked, and you've
I
never
did.
had a joint since.
No, I
Right?
have never done anything since. No,
Never,
no.
never
I've
had a
never.
joint.
You guys could. I would be happy to. Oh, no, not a joint. Oh God, I thought you meant in the last 5 minutes, Adam. I'm sorry.
No,
Oh God, yeah.
you
No, I
learned
mean,
your
I'll say
lesson,
if
and
Sonny, I'd be happy to give Sonny my social number through email. She can do her. I know she's got great checkup availability.
she doesn't
She's
even need
probably already
that.
checked on me. Oh,
Wait,
she's looking.
what did you guys just say?
She
What?
has looked.
Wait,
Nothing.
what did you just say? I missed. There was one word there that I missed.
I would say that if you wanted to do a background check on me, I'm more than happy to do that. But I said Sonny's already done that. Who are we
Derek
bullshitting?
Farmer, I've already done that.
I know you have. And as you can see, there's nothing there.
Right.
Because
I,
I wanted to know, because at the time I wanted to know if you
I
were
would do it.
related to the other farmers.
The Flint
Because it
Farmer,
was
I
just,
know.
yeah, because
And you
obviously,
didn't like my answer, so you said that would be something that Kegan Dunker would say. And Adam goes,
yeah.
Derek, you better just call in, or she's going to go on with this.
right.
And that was the
No.
beginning of this relationship. And so I'm not going to criticize anyone unless I feel it's necessary, and I do not feel that it's necessary.
I just wanted to say real.
F and cheers.
Go ahead.
I just wanted
I'm
to say
sorry,
real
Adam.
quickly, Kelly. Kelly, no problem. We. We're here for you.
Oh, Kelly, do you want me to take some of those kind words back today? No, just kidding. No, Kelly. You know what? Like I said, I told her before, there's haters, creators, whatever. We're here to create, love and care about Abby and Libby and create videos and talk about it and bring stuff to light. Like people, if anyone ever wants to judge me on any level, like I said, my heart for Abby and Libby is always 100% pure. When I'm not on a live, like before I came on the live today, I spent about 3 hours on the merch site, making
Mhm.
merch emblems and stuff like that, right? Because it's not easy just sitting there like creating. Even though Adam, I want to tell you that site sucks for hats. Like they
Does
only
it?
do yeah, for hats it sucks because they only do embroidery. And I'm like, and it looked like shit. It literally looked
Yeah, I
like
don't like
shit.
the white one you sent. The
You
sample
know,
of.
no, that was ugly. That was horrible. Thank you very much, Kelly. But right? Only because we're talking about this now, I do want to show you. I want to show you guys the scrunchie, the Abby
Yeah,
and Libby
I really like
scrunchie.
that. That was really cute.
That
While
was so
you're
cute.
while you're doing that, I just was gonna say really quick to Christine Joy. That's congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That she just finished her application to the LAPD.
Wow.
It's a year-long process.
Congratulations.
Academy.
Excellent.
One sec here. I want to show you guys this present screen. Hey, Adam, you notice that they changed that word?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it's called, instead of share, it's called present.
Oh, thank you, Kelly.
Thank you so much. Okay, is Herman Funster Frank? I don't know why. I keep thinking that was Frank's logo. Herman, are you Frank?
Are you Kegan Dunker?
Yeah.
Are you the different farmer, Herman?
Kegan Dunker, get your ass on here right now. So
No,
present.
Kegan Dunker is dead
Yeah.
in disguise.
Oh my God!
You never saw the similarity.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Don't you guys love it? That's
Oh,
Abby
what
and Libby's scrunchie.
is it for
It's
hair? I have a
Yeah.
ponytail.
it's for your hair, Dirk.
Well, you know,
But isn't
you know what I thought it was when you sent me the picture.
what?
I thought it was one of those like
A
neck
donut?
curls people use on the plane, and I was like, well, that's
Oh no, it's a hair scrunchie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Anyways,
I like the hair scrunchie.
yeah, it's Abby and Libby with
Me
the
too.
little shoes. Yeah. Cornhole. Anyways,
Flotation. It
I,
could
I
be a flotation device, or
Right. And
yeah.
and everything
sorry.
in the Abby and Libby line, Sonny, I'll let you say that
Yeah.
because I don't want to say it
I love
wrong.
the colors.
No, I showed it to Becky as well. So hold on, let me just bring it back up. It's
It's
nice.
it's
But
very
anyways,
nice.
so yeah, when we do launch It's a Criming Shame, which should be soon actually, because there's enough stuff out there now that I think we can launch it. Deb created a notepad, and
Blast off, Sonny. Blast off.
I was not
yeah,
asked to create anything. I will
yes
make
you were.
that.
Yes, you
was?
were. You missed it. I told you in hat. Now this is before I knew that their hats were crap.
Uh-oh.
I said, Adam, now you can make your. I said, Adam. Actually, I told you, Adam, you can make a logo. You even answered me back.
I did.
Adam. But yeah, no, Adam, you can create something easily. and I stick it on because I want
I will
them
be
to
right
have.
All
back.
right.
Yeah, like I want It's Crime and Shame to have like the baseline of certain things, but I mean we can create whatever we want, to be honest with you, and to a point. But their hats suck because all they use is the embroidery, and the colors don't even come out the same. Adam, ugly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find a whole different hat, maybe thing for hats because I'm not happy with the hats. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to get them to make a couple more samples, see if something comes out, but like it's like today I was playing around and you can get a pillow that says at the end of the day.
Oh, that's funny.
To
cry into after Sonny's hurt your feelings.
I know. Right.
Sorry.
Right. No, but yeah, so basically the Abby and Libby line, okay, guys. So obviously they charge a certain amount of money, and they're obviously got to include their shipping and everything in these prices. Just remember that. But still, they're not horrible. They're your typical, I guess, prices. I guess like that scrunchie. I can't even remember what the scrunchie is. But because at the end of the day, they're doing all the work. They put their charges on there, and then they're like, "You make $3." So let's say it says you make $3. Well, $1.50 of that will go for the Abby and Libby Memorial Park, and $1.50 we'll keep for It's a
That's
Crime and Shame.
awesome.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard that part of it. I mean, jeez,
absolutely.
that's good stuff.
I don't see, right? So it's stuff like that when people want to knock it. I don't know if anybody else has created a line for Abby and Libby, and doing anything like that. Doesn't matter. People are doing their own things, but I thought it was a great idea to have that, and to have an Abby and Libby line, because there's a lot of people in here that maybe they want to lay down on that pillow that says Abby and Libby, because they care so much, or maybe they want a hair scrunchie, maybe they want that mug that says Abby and Libby with the shoes on it. Oh, there he is. We got to stop talking, people. Oh, there he is. There's the man of the hour.
Hello, sir.
How you doing, sir?
I'm going to bring you up here. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit near Derek.
It's Steve. Hi, Steve.
Yeah.
Hey. You can refer to me as my dance name, Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Now you're going to make me think of that song, Ricochet. So, Steve, thank you for coming on. And this CD, if you're watching, I'm not letting you off the hook. All right. Hi, Steve.
First of all, want to say hi, Steve. It's nice to finally be with you live. And I have been an admirer since you've had your own show, and you're on Marvin Frank, and it's good to see you.
This is our first live. I did not realize that, sir. I'm honored.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Hold on.
I'm more honored.
We're gonna put the big boys up
Steve
top.
and Mrs. Steve.
Yes. Whoops. Hey, hello.
All right.
So, Steve, so Blaine was supposed to come on tonight, and obviously he couldn't make it. Whatever happened to him, I'm not sure if he fell asleep or what. Either or. So the whole thing I really wanted to understand, and people watching understand, is so obviously this gentleman yesterday, the source was talking about how they were playing cornhole. He drew some pictures that he showed a picture of like this camera, like a phone camera thing on the wall. And obviously, right, again, like they probably hustle. Can you tell me what goes on kind of like in the jail, like what people do? Um, like just from the side of it of, they obviously try to earn money, do things so that they can get money for their commissaries or different things. Like what really goes on in those jails in a sense? And would oh no, I think you answered this one yesterday. I said, would a pedophile be put with a small time or a druggie? But um, you said it depends on the
Yeah, you have classifications in jail. You have nonviolent offenders with nonviolent offenders, and it depends on, and it just because there's different levels of violence, and you can't put murderers with DUIs, because,
right.
and then you have but now there are certain individuals that may have that when you run a criminal history on them, that in their past they have certain types of violence that they've been charged with or served time for, that when they go in, they may, even if they have a DUI, they may go up to a higher tier of, so that, because they do have that past history of violence. But the inmates in there, it's just like that you see on the street. People in there will sell everything. You have everything from prostitution to that they get all type of contraband brought into the jail. Used to be even phones brought into the jails, and your drugs, and there's so much stuff. There's whatever goes on the streets goes on in the jails.
So
Right, exactly. That's what I understand. Not that I've been there. I mean, but Sonny, I swear. But exactly. I just wanted to say quickly that when someone says someone's a great artist, you don't have to believe them,
right.
because I've seen great artists, and I don't know. I don't get it. Look, all I'm saying is don't quit your jail job.
Well, this one doesn't even look like Kegan, to be honest with you. But whatever I mean, it's a good job. It doesn't look like Kegan, but
Right.
it's a good job.
Well,
I guess.
and one of the biggest markers is that some people have to pay for protection.
Mhm. Okay.
Wow.
How much do things
Like
like
out
that
of pocket?
cost?
That's probably not.
Well, it
including
can
the
do
jail.
anything from cigarettes on, but now that they've gone to the non-smoking, but that still doesn't mean anything. That's still contraband. It still
Yep.
gets into the jails.
Mhm.
Everything gets into the jails, either through corrupt law enforcement or through visitations and people that have work release. There's so many ways that they try to flank the system, and they bring it in.
Right. Yeah, because correctional officers aren't paid. I mean, they're not like rolling in it.
No.
So I mean, I can see
I
where.
think, and if I may ask Steve something too, just if he notices anything in the tone of overall prosecutions over the last few decades, a couple at least, where some things were much harsher, and now the trend, maybe I'm wrong, seems to be that rehabilitation, let's cut costs, let's get people out of jail, let's clear the record up, give them another chance. Am I right, Steve? Am I wrong? Especially
No,
with drugs, wouldn't you say?
oh yes, I mean
It seems like they were
they
harder
lost
some years back than they are now.
Well,
when they had the DARE program, and the DARE program was based upon marijuana, and then you lose that gateway drug, and so that now it's legalized across, from one end of the country to the other, and
I'm a graduate.
In Georgia.
yeah, and which of course it never really worked, for the fact that if it was working, we wouldn't have a drug problem now, and so people tried it, and it did build relationships
You know,
between people and law enforcement, but that's basically all it did. And it did put law enforcement within
I get out.
schools.
Yeah,
And they got
I
us
think
all
I
to
just
give them
meant
our
the general
fingerprints in
tone.
fifth grade.
Hey,
That's
at a
true.
time,
I
people.
did that.
Do-do-do-do.
I just meant I feel if punishment is, and I'm not saying right or wrong because I do think that some people need a second, third, fourth shot if they're not violent. If you know if they paid their bills and done their time or shown, you know, whatever. I'm not going to sit back and judge anybody. I smoke pot. You know, I'm open. It's legal here. I'm a medical patient also, but I mean, you know, I guess the point is that but like I tell everybody, it's like I'm not going to BS about it either. You know, I like smoking pot. You know, so yeah, of course, I did have a legitimate reason, but the point is, let's not BS the world either. It's not going to solve any problems. It's not going to you know make the environment turn around overnight because you're growing hemp. It's all
Well,
great and grandiose if you want to push an agenda like a High Times magazine where there's never another side. That's something. But if you want to look at things honestly, it was a demotivator in my life. I mean, I dropped out of high school. I mean, I worked, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I like it, but I can see where it could be a very bad thing for some people. And I think not everybody's meant to be doing it. You know, too many Big Macs can kill you. You know what I mean? But you have to be able to have control. But where do you draw the line on that? And Steve, as XLE, I would think that you're pretty strict on it.
well, there's certain offenses that absolutely the court system fails our children and fails our society on that. These offenders, on these sexual offenders and predators of children,
Oh yeah,
there's no cure for them.
sure.
I mean, there is a cure for them, but it's just
No,
uh,
hell no. I'm talking
and
about your
but
general pot
but
smoker. I'm not talking about
yeah, no,
that kind of
but
ilk right
yeah,
there. No,
the
no
nonviolent
way.
crimes, the victimless crimes of some of it. Now, there are victims under certain drug usages that they go out there
Sure.
and they have accidents and they kill people, and so you have to look
Yep.
at that. But
Even
uh,
yeah, absolutely. And bigger than that, and even sometimes beyond that, if you're supporting an outside cartel that may be supporting terrorism against your own country, uh, depending on what you're doing. So I say, if you're going to do pot, grow it at home, know the source, know what's in it, and you know that's it.
well, the
You
drug
know, and that
dealers,
was
the amount of crime is based upon drugs, and the being the foundation of robberies, burglaries, and
absolutely
of these hard drugs, um, and and we look at how many lives are and families are destroyed by those addictions. And just because someone goes to jail doesn't mean that the moment they are put behind bars, they lose that addiction. They'll do anything to
sure.
continue that drug usage,
Mhm.
and then become violent. And but there's no answer to the jail system. That's for smarter people than I.
Well, here's the thing: things are still pretty black and white, in my opinion. If you hurt somebody, if you mean to hurt somebody, if you premeditate and hurting somebody, or stealing or hurting their property, then you be dealt with in the harshest of terms. If you made a mistake and you're hungry and you stole a loaf of bread, you know, ask next time.
There's so
That's
many.
all.
I don't even know if any Walmart even prosecutes anymore if you're in there shoplifting food. I don't. I think they pretty well are. There's so many places that are so lenient about
Yeah,
people going in and doing
you
that. I think
can't.
it's
Yeah, but you can't eat a television, folks. It's not healthy. So you know, grab the jiffy, leave the television on the counter.
Did you, Steve? Did you listen
Anyway,
to the
Sonny, please.
murder? Did you listen to them? Thank you, Derek. Did you listen to the murder podcast today?
no. I have no idea. I was working on the Stockton stuff and trying
Yeah.
to. But no. What was the breaking news today?
Well, well, you know what? What was very interesting about it today was that they basically ran down, even though they didn't say use names, but I think we know that wife Lilith is the person that visited or talked 40 times. So they basically went down the list of his money when he's received money, and from whom. What did it say from whom actually? I can't remember. It was just the money amounts. No, because I remember they were saying about his dad, so they must have been talking about that. Anyways, it gave a very enlightening, I guess, enlightening picture of when he's been getting money, when he's been receiving money, and what's in his chirping account, basically, or commissary about. So, for instance, right now he's broke ass. He has no money. Nobody's putting money in for him at the moment. And this is kind of when I went back to this, like, I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that, that money was being made by here's my signature on the back or something, perhaps, off of a picture to, maybe he was wheeling and dealing. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was. Who knows? Regardless, the gentleman has like 14 other charges against him. And so it wouldn't, like, do you know what I mean? Like, when you live in a certain world, you do certain things to make money. It's that simple. Just like Kegan Kline. He says, I don't have a job, but hey, you're getting money from somewhere, dude. Obviously from selling pictures, doing different naughty things in order to achieve your money that way. Whereas most people
and I hope when he finally goes to prison, he collects interest on that money he earned selling those pictures of those children.
Yeah, it's so it's just one of those things. And like I said, I've never been inside. Like one time, I've been literally in a downtown jail in Calgary when I had to. This is when I was like freaking 17, 18 years old.
Tell us
I had
about
to
that
bring,
money.
yeah, I had to bring cigarettes to Dion, my first guy that I was with for 11 years at the time. But anyway, so that's the only time that I really, besides like I've been into a police thing. So, because I've had to go down and report things when you work at the hotel and you have a shooting and stuff like that, you have to, go just to the main desk. But that was the only time that it was like
Sonny, how did that make you feel?
How did it make me feel? I felt dirty, to be honest with you. That's how it made me feel.
Did it point you in a different direction in life, you think?
No, I wouldn't go that deep. I'd go probably deeper. Yeah, no, but I just like the little building that or where you had to go. It was like this small little room that you just opened up the door. It was dirty. It was just gross feeling, and I just remember going, "Can you give these cigarettes to Dion, please?" Da-da-da-da. And I never had to go back to give him anything else after that because they ended up letting him out after a few days. Let me put it this way: he was literally in jail because he was ringing in free food for his brother at Superstore. So he was not scanning all the food. So he come home that day and said, "Oh, I got fired from my job." And you know what's funny too, because when they do those applications, this is the part that makes me laugh. When they do those applications and they say, would you tell on your brother if you knew he was stealing? And most people are going to be like, well, I probably should answer no. But of course, they hired everyone that would say yes. And they would ask you the same multiple question multiple times. So of course, he got hired and I didn't because I was, I thought I was being truthful, but obviously I'm not going to, I'm not going to sit there and tell whatever. But I put, yes, I would. Yes, I would. But anyways, so it's just funny how, so they think that they're doing this smart thing by having these applications of telling the truth. And yet he was the one that got caught for stealing and doing exactly what they don't want you to. But yeah, so it was like
let's be glad that Ted. So I was just saying, let's be glad Ted Kaczynski's brother decided to do the right thing and turn him in. Sometimes you got to turn in family. Doesn't matter. Depends on what the crime is. I mean, if someone stole a candy bar, fine. But if we're talking something major like that, too bad.
Right.
I'm trying to hide down here and vape at the same time.
No, Derek came back in, and so I just moved and it rearranged us.
I thought you were going to say Ted Bundy, to be honest with you. Steve, I just ask you, how did your live go tonight? I don't even know what case you're talking about. What case was that?
the Stockton shooter, where they got that new guy out there, as they go back and start linking up new crimes to him. I think they have 7 shooters or 7 shooting victims now, 6 of them dead from a serial killer. It's in Stockton, and where else was he? He was in Oakland.
And he's active, right?
Yes, he's since July he's shot 5 that they say are linked, and so he's classified as a serial killer. Possibly, if you wanted to find him as that, law enforcement still playing on that a little bit, but they did do a public service announcement alerting the public out there to beware of his threat.
Oh. Andrew Derringer says, "Hey, CW, you're awesome."
I agree.
Yeah, and just to ask you, Steve, because See-Through is asking you, do you believe Kegan failed a poly if they took him home right after it?
I don't think he could take a polygraph and never pass it for anything.
Yeah,
even for what he had for breakfast.
Nope.
I don't.
Right.
No.
Do you think that that's possibly what happened back in the time, that when he did take a poly, that they couldn't get no consistency out of him whatsoever, regardless?
The thing with polygraphs is it's not a crime to fail them,
Right?
And because they're not accepted in court, and so it's no real big deal. So you have to have other evidence other than a failure of a polygraph to charge someone. It is a great tool sometimes to get the confessions out of them, because some people just hate to be caught in a lie and they'll turn over. But when you're dealing with a man that his whole life is built around catfishing, is built around a lie, then it means nothing to him to lie for anything. And it's surprising that he would fail on certain levels, because that's all he does. He lived in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
But I would be interested in
Jessica,
the questions that he did fail on. That would be very significant. I'd like to see.
Yeah, absolutely. What were you going to say to Jessica, Derek? Oh, Jessica, wait. What was that?
I did not.
She said?
Never went to school there, but I'm not gonna lie, I've had a few embarrassing moments there myself. No doubt about that.
Okay. Do we want to know? No.
Nothing too bad. I mean, you've seen the record, Sonny. You look me up.
What I was gonna ask Steve. Okay. This whole thing, and Derek and Adam too, this simplistic story that seems to be going around about the Jeep, Tony Kline. I sat in the Jeep. Kate, a lot of people keep saying that that's what Kegan is kind of like chirping out. Are you buying it for a second, or what's your thoughts on that? To be honest with you, that whole little.
That's the problem that Indiana State Police having to deal or having to play with the hand they're dealt. And if Kegan is the hand that they're dealt, I mean, they have to find so much supporting evidence. It's one thing if you had someone of good character,
right,
giving you information. It's a totally different thing that when you're dealing with a sociopath or someone of low character or a psychopath or any of these individuals, that you have to go out and have so much supported evidence that anything they tell you, you have to find something that supports it. And without that support, it carries no weight in front of a jury.
So,
yep.
No, I had a question here.
We all know he's a greasy liar.
Yeah, I mean, would you believe anyone that that he said, I've never in my life talked to a girl I didn't want a nude image of her. How could you ever give weight to anything he said?
Right. Mm-hmm.
100% agree. There's not even any point in arguing it.
I agree.
Well, so let me ask you something as well, Steve. So let's just say, okay, so he's he's potentially saying that he's got that if whatever I'm going to get him, I would get immunity and stuff like that. Do you think that there's a hope in hell if someone's going to get immunity that they're going to be allowed to talk about it out publicly? Are they allowed to do that, or would they just say, you know what, you talk? Like, do you have the authority to be like, this is what we're offering you? You know,
Law enforcement doesn't have the authority. The state, who is represented by the prosecutors, are the ones that work out deals. But there's no way in jail that, I mean, you have to have a lot of protection if you're going to say, hey, I'm a snitch, I'm working for the police, I'm giving them information, and I'm turning on everybody. That's not something that most people like to do that's in jail. So
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So we don't know if it's him or if it's someone else. I mean, I have no idea.
Right. Because why would somebody, if they haven't been charged with Delphi, let's just say hypothetically it was true, why would somebody implicate themselves as being at the crime scene if they were never charged with Delphi? What would be the reason for that?
Well, now a lot of it is that the prosecutor still has a lot of power. I mean, we're dealing with an animal here that has 30 CSAM charges against him. That judge and that prosecutor, and you have the whole state of Indiana that wants this man to go to trial and face these charges. If they run them concurrent, which means that he'll serve time for each count at the same time. So if he got 3 years for each of the, I mean, I have no idea what the CSAM carries up there, but 3 times 30 would be 90 years. If they run it concurrent, he could be out in 3 years. If they run it consecutive, you're looking at 90 years. And that's a life sentence.
Yeah. Right.
That's a death
sentence.
That's good. It depends on the courts, and it depends on what that prosecutor's going to tell him that, no, we're not going to let you out in 10. We're not going to let you out in 20. We're going to ask for whatever the max is, and you're going to get it. And he's painted, he's got numerous devices from what is in those affidavits and what's in those transcripts that are indicative that the state has a good, if you was on a jury, would you convict him? With the information that we have
if
now.
I was on a jury, I'd convict. Absolutely, yeah. For CSAM or for murder?
Yeah,
for
which one?
CSAM. We don't have anything on murder yet.
Definitely,
Absolutely.
without question, of course.
And so that's what I'm saying is that now, if someone did work a deal and say that okay, I'm facing 90 years. I don't know what the years is, but say I'm facing 90 years, but state says, okay, we'll let you have a chance at life in 40 years, but you're going to have to give us a perpetrator. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to give us an offender. 40, you might make it 40 with good time. You're not going to make it with 90, good time. But once again, you're dealing with a liar that has to have supporting evidence. He's going to have to tell you things about that crime scene that no one knows. He's going to have to tell you where there's things from that crime scene that no one knows. And that would be for anyone, not just him, but anyone of the same character as him.
Yeah.
Man, it's getting interesting in Delphi, huh?
Yeah. Well, one second. Casey, if you have a question, feel free to ask it. I'm not sure what the conversation was going on there, but I think we all understand this. Casey says, this entire case has me in tears all the time. My girls are their age, and I couldn't even imagine between this and Harmony Montgomery. It's so hard to sleep. I had the same thing myself, and meaning I don't know if men maybe compartmentalize it a little bit better, but I have sleepless nights all the time. Suzanne Morphew was especially hard because that I didn't intend on getting into any sort of true crime, and I hate the fact of thinking that people get murdered and hurt, and that kids are being abused in the world and stuff like that. It hurts me to the core of my heart. And so like I said, it's just a fact as a mother, as a father, as a grandparent, as a friend, whatever, when something like this happens, especially when 2 girls are murdered, I'm truly worried lately, Steve, about the fact that a bullshit charge for Delphi is like, hey, because you know how the longer it takes, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the Karina McClurkin case. Let's say that there's 6 people involved, but only one person really gets charged, because by the time the 6-year mark is here, you don't have really that much to stand a leg on, because anything that you would have known back then, maybe the evidence is gone, maybe, things were overlooked back then. Then you realize that, I don't know, because Delphi seems like such a mess. In my heart of hearts, I'm really worried that the truth really is not going to come out, only a little piece of the truth if it happens. It's so just because it's taking so long, because when a case takes so long, like Delphi here and Queen McClurkin, Steve, isn't the chances of convictions on others like a little bit harder, and that maybe you might get a little piece of the pie instead of the full pie if Delphi turns out to be, quite a few people involved?
Well, I mean, it's common that you don't always get everybody. You may get some of the characters, and you may never get top dog, especially if it's got anything to do with drugs and things. But on some levels and things, they want the person that is that you can have a hitman, and is the person that hired it just as guilty as a hitman? Absolutely, but sometimes you don't get that person, and so whoever committed this crime, for whatever motivation they did, that's who they want. They want the person that was hands-on, that did it, and anyone that enabled them to do it. And will they all be caught? I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, let's, again, hypothetically speaking, just to ask you. But let's just hypothetically say that the BG is on the bridge, and that's who we've known to know for the BG is, a lot of people for potentially the killer. Or let's say it's not the BG, like did a parole but didn't actually do the killing, and that it was other people involved. So is that kind of one of those situations that they might not want the BG? They just want the people that actually murdered Abby and Libby, that type of thing? Because
the prosecutor wants someone to go up there and testify and supply evidence that who killed these girls, who was the one, and that's what they want at the end of the day. That's what I want, is who is responsible for their murder, and anyone that played a part in it deserves the same, in my opinion, as everyone. I wish they wouldn't have to make a deal, but if they have to make a deal, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Any claims?
Yes.
Does see-through says,
I have a Delphi question whenever I can.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so just something I saw somewhere today online, whatever, blah blah. The day that they were either the day the search was happening, the 13th, or the day the 14th they were found. If you remember, on a private drive, there are 3 white police cars parked, but they're parking in, and I'm not talking about the orange truck that was PB's. I'm talking there's a white truck. Now that could be part of some investigative crew, I suppose, but to me, it's up on that hill, and there's a tree line. So that truck, the way they got those cars staggered, that truck's not able to go anywhere, but the cars are. I wonder if anyone else has noticed in that picture. Do you think they're blocking that truck in, or is that truck there on help them?
Well, I'd have to see the picture.
I'd have to see the picture again. I know the picture you're talking about.
I don't have that. Yeah. Okay. Well, when you get a chance, well, hey, having a Delphi, whenever you get a chance, do it.
Are you talking about the truck at the cemetery?
No, that's the orange truck. I'm familiar with that truck, and I don't know why it was blocked in, other than what we've been told. But I just happened not to think about the white truck before, because I felt like it was grouped with the 3 police cars. Maybe it ain't grouped with the police cars.
It could be.
Maybe them police cars.
It could be a coroner's
blocking
vehicle.
That truck in. Okay.
You're talking.
I just wondered.
You're talking about the private drive, right?
Yes, Sonny.
Okay.
And like it was either search day or it was either the 13th or the 14th. I don't know which one, but I'm guessing the 14th.
It was the 14th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It was dark before. It was dark on the 13th before we really had any footage of them out there of searching out there.
My mind always before just put it to be with them because they're all white vehicles. And today I looked at it a little bit different. I said, you know, and it's not because I am so brilliant. It's because I did see somebody else post something about it. But it did make it made me think like maybe they are blocking that in. And if so, I hadn't considered that as anything suspect before. That's all.
I mean, I've seen that picture multiple times. I just haven't seen it in a while because I've had no need to. And it would be buried in my pictures.
You know, I'll try to dig it up and I'll email it to you. Maybe we could discuss it next time or something like that too. I mean,
yeah, I was just
curious.
trying.
Well, now normally what you'll have is the vehicles coming in. If that's inside that, you probably don't see what's happening at the gateway because you have multiple layers of entry. That any vehicle that's in a certain position got there through another checkpoint that you may not see. And so it may be up on the main road. And so all the vehicles there, because they're not going to just let the public at large come back in there if they have an established crime scene.
Yeah. This is just off that private drive. If you're familiar with the one that goes under Monon, to the, I believe, W's property.
If they're parked with the vehicles, they probably with the vehicles. If they're parked down there with the patrol cars, because residents.
But the truck itself, though, Steve, isn't on the road. It's up in the woods, and they're behind it. There's a grouping of 3 police cars behind the truck, and I'm sorry that I wasn't prepared with the actual picture. I do apologize for that, but I needed to get it out while I could remember it. I'm sorry.
Now, someone will look it up. Everywhere, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know Sonny's already looked. Sonny's
I was looking. Hey. No, I was just looking. Is there any other comments going on in there? I was just going to bring up Google Earth, but for some reason my Google Earth doesn't want to come up, or maybe I have it up.
Or maybe somebody in chat. Maybe somebody in chat has an idea where we could get that picture real quick. I guess I could just start looking for it myself too. But it is curious to me. I just never considered that truck not part of that grouping of 3 police cars. But today when I saw it, it looked different. That's all. No big deal. I ain't saying it is or isn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what it would mean, even if it wasn't part of it, for the fact that you had searchers in the area, and law enforcement will identify, and if they had any type of suspicions that it was any part of the crime, they just hook it up to a record and take it to the crime lab.
Sure.
Right.
I wonder if they did.
They could have. Don't know.
Right.
Well, yeah.
It could have been one of the Weber's vehicles.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea about it. I know that if law enforcement thought it had anything to do with it, they most certainly wouldn't have let it out of there without hooking something up to it.
And sure. we would have heard countless conspiracies about it.
Probably.
True. I'm not looking for another rabbit hole. To me, it's a picture, so it's a real thing, and it just struck me different today. And I don't think there's anything. I don't know one way or another. I just like somebody else to see it and give an opinion. That's all.
We can talk about it another time there. Absolutely.
And I'll email it out to Steve. I'll be happy when I do. I'll find it and get it off to an email to you, and Sonny as well. Adam, you too.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adam.
No, so go ahead, Steve. I apologize.
I just thanking him for and that's what we have to do is that there's so many theories out there about, and they bring in people constantly about they evaluate and so much information. It's one thing when you get to a crime scene that's fresh and you have strange vehicles. It's another thing after you establish security lines and you have these checkpoints. And
Sure.
And you may have vehicles that you may have everything from crime scene techs showing up that and driving. They may not went by the office and picked up the they may be in their own personal vehicles. I've went to a lot of crime scenes that
Sure.
I'd always been out eating with Mrs. Steve, and she dropped me off at a homicide or something. We get back in those days, you get beeped out. I don't even know if anybody carries a beeper anymore.
Yeah, right.
Secret agent, man. That's it.
I don't know what that means.
I don't
Um,
either, but I don't know who else would be using them.
you know, now that you guys, now that I think about it, I wanna say a couple things about things that I had asked Becky, um, yet yesterday and today. So if anyone's listening, just to tell you. So let's see here. Go down to here. Okay. So Becky, is there any truth to the fact that Libby was supposed to go to the LE like the next day or something? I forgot about that rumor. Um, and then also, someone was asking what time the girls went to the park the day before, and were they with an adult? So she answered back and she said no. Carrie debunked some of that a long time ago, which refers to about going to the LE. So no, Libby was not supposed to have been going to no LE. So if there's these are just some rumors that are out there that if people are watching this, maybe they can take these ones perhaps off their plate, as you know, maybe they put it into their timeline of something that should have happened but didn't, and maybe this is, you know what I mean, how people conjure up certain things. But anyway, and then the other one, she says, to be honest, as for the park, she says, to be honest, I don't think Libby was with Abby when she went to the park to practice with her grandpa Cliff. Libby had spent Saturday night with another friend, and I don't remember what time Anna brought Abby over on Sunday. It was evening. Okay. Um, Another thing I asked her, and again, this is just to kind of, like, they're, regardless, they're Becky's best answers that she knows, but if it can take things off the plate for people, that's why I like to share them, because that's the whole point, is trying to get rid of some of these rumors and get to the actual things that are more truthful. Um, another thing I said, Becky, can I ask you an honest question? And that was, is there any part of you that thinks that people or someone hated Derek enough to hurt Libby? Or do you think it's to do with the whole sex twisted CSAM? And then I told her the reason why I'm asking was because of Garth and Kurtz and Paladinos and Cottrell, Dunkerks, these names. Um, and she said, I do not believe it was revenge against Derek. Carrie has stated the same thing. Okay. So I think some of us knew that before. Um, it's just because of certain names that's why I could never take it off the plate for myself. Um, and so, as she had said, Derek was a small time, that he made his own meth, sold to friends. There was no suppliers or cartel. Um,
That's pretty much the same thing she said to me. Remember?
yeah. Yeah. And then, and he did not snitch or become an informant. And I think that was it, because that's all I really wanted to know. Oh, and then I asked her about Jeff Ragan, because it was said that he owed um, Jeff Ragan money, um, and she had said not true. And then she said something like he didn't owe Anthony, but maybe that was supposed to be Anthony money. So I'm not sure if she meant to say Anthony, or maybe it's been said that there's somebody else that he owed money to. But anyways, so those are Becky's thoughts on how she feels are, again, the best to her knowledge about it. And so, I just said, I thanked her for, of course, answering, because you guys know that I always have. It's because of the names. It's because of the names Palladino, Garrett, Kurtz. Like, why would these people to me involve themselves? What reason? And they all connect to drugs, right? So, even though as time goes on, I'm more apt to look at a different side of it, to more of the CSAM, child porn, live stream, murder tape, that maybe Libby was annoying, that, like she was a target. Maybe she had information she was going to come across. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I think all of us wish we knew the truth to that. Um, So, anyways, I just wanted to put that stuff out there for anyone that you know, is
Well,
thinking the same thing. Or go
to
ahead.
consider that a child predator would
Thank
ever
you,
block a
thank you for
child
keeping
from
it above board.
communicating is crazy.
Sorry, Steve. Sorry. What did you say?
I said,
Steve. Oh,
I
yeah.
said that to even consider that a child predator would ever block a child from communicating with them is something that's ludicrous. That isn't something a predator does. A predator just continues to set the trap. They're not going to. They're not going to be blocking a child from communicating. They're not annoying to a predator. He's there for one purpose, and that's to communicate with that child, manipulate that child for his purpose, not to block them.
That's the first time I heard it put that way, and that makes a hell of a lot of sense the way you put that.
Well, I was going to say, actually, me too, Steve, to be honest with you. Because as you just said that went exactly through my head too. So like, maybe like is the deflecting, is the saying, she was annoying, maybe a deflection of, you know what I mean? Deflecting it off the back. Like,
now, Steve said it, yeah.
He's distancing himself from from her. That's all it is. That's a roadblock. Oh no, it wasn't me. I had blocked her. That was someone else communicating with her. It's not me. It's roadblocks.
Well, it's
how do I have gullible stamped on my forehead? I mean, I never even thought of that before. Well, I took them, you know, I'm reading over this. Oh shit. That's it.
I thought of it before. I just never, when it was presented to me in that way that Steve just did. Because at first when he said that to her, I'm just like, oh, bullshit, buddy. That you're just saying that to distance yourself. But when Steve put it in the way that he just said it, you know, it just reminded me about the same thing. Like it just was put in a better way. To people out there.
There's nothing about an underage person to a pedo that is going to irritate them at all besides me, I don't know, going to the police or something like that. That might irritate them. But other than that, no one's blocking anybody, Steve. I never even... Duh.
You know, okay, so why... Okay, Steve, here's another question that you probably... Yes, yeah, Derek. Derek, the Steve question. Why do you think that Kegan would say to the girl with the last name of B, the one that said, you know, that she messaged him to say, hey, did you hear what happened to, you know, Abby Libby or Libby, whatever, however it was said. And then, oh yeah, I was supposed to meet up with that girl, but she never showed up. Why would he say this if this was after the murders? What's your take always been on that one?
You know, I really don't know. Was he, because people introduce themselves into the investigation to find out what others know. And was that his one way of coming into the investigations of, oh, I was supposed to meet him, and what have you heard? And was he just fishing for more information? But that's just a possibility. Doesn't mean anything. But you have people that will walk into an investigation and try to help out. It's noted in a lot of investigations with serial offenders or homicides where people have done that. That they introduced and brought themselves in there and sometimes are the most helpful or try to be the most helpful assistant to an investigation just so they can keep track of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that's what happened, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to put that picture down. Adam, do you have anything, or Derek, anything that?
And then it's also important to remember he continued messaging Libby even though he knew she was dead.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
That is a good point.
I always thought that was to me the only thing that makes it unspectacular is if he was sending out like 50 messages at a time, and so the messages he sent her were just kind of the blanket things he was sending all of the people on his contact lists. on Snapchat, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure law enforcement has a better understanding if he was doing blanket messaging or if he was, you know, continuing that wanting to continue that. Oh, I thought she was just missing. I mean, there's so many different possibilities. Not a lot of possibilities, but there's several of reasons that he might do that to keep himself where family might contact him and let him know what's going on.
True.
Mhm.
I mean, especially because Kelsey had already messaged him,
Yeah.
which she didn't remember, but I'm sure did.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, how many
So,
people
like,
created
okay.
alibis?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm sorry, the last thought's still going through my head. It's like someone that's addicted to, let's say, I don't know, coke. They're gonna say, "What? Nah, I don't get the cocaine anymore." That's the picture right there. I don't get the cocaine anymore because that dealer kind of annoys me a little bit, so I'm just gonna not get it from him anymore. That's a bunch of bullshit. You're gonna get the coke every time. Just like Kegan is not gonna block Libby. That
Me?
just really hit me, man.
Which?
I'm sorry, I was thinking out loud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Just like you're not gonna. So
That's the
here's.
picture I was talking about, though.
I was gonna say. Okay. So what is it you want to understand from this picture you were saying about
Okay,
the truck?
sure. Well, I mean, that's the private drive right there. That's the W's private drive. And you can see that truck isn't really on a drive at all. It's just kind of off in the woods a little bit. And look, I don't know anything about it. Then that's the south side. That's the south side then of the bridge. And if he is parked, he or she, whatever, parked there, it's sure, the three cars are parked behind there. There's a tree line. If you zoom in, there's a tree line. So you can't go off at an angle either way. You have to go back pretty much straight. So my point is either they're blocking them in there or they're there to help, or that car, like Steve said, to be like a person. You didn't say that, I'm adding that, in that it needs to be cleared and that it may have nothing to do with anything. But they're not going to let it go until they find out what the hell it's doing there, and that means it's got to be cleared. So I don't know. I was only merely asking that. My mind told me that was part of their group. It was a grouping of 4 police vehicles. But now that I look at it, that truck's not on a road. It's in the woods. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say it's in the woods. Whoops.
Yeah, looks weird. I don't want to dig a rabbit hole. I'm just an honest question. Like, I mean, I'm not saying even anyone knows, but it's it's just like a white like a white truck. It's not like a Corners van, or I don't see Quincy. I mean, I don't know. It looks it looks sus to me. That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't seem sus to me at all. I just took it as that he pulled off.
I just heard that one of the kids said that at work the other day. That someone seems sus, so I kind of picked it up like I'm trying to be hip. I never heard that before, but I think
you can try to be cool. It's not good, but it doesn't always work though. Just saying.
That's right.
No, just kidding. But no,
definitely doesn't when you point it out.
I personally, Steve, or Adam, I didn't read anything into that truck. I've looked at it as well. I mean, it caught my eye about how it went up, but it's just probably somebody that's making room maybe for the others, and I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I see 2 cars and 2 trucks. I mean, so.
Well, I've referred to the third vehicle off of that private drive. That's off to the left of that private drive there.
Trucks are useful with crime scene, and
Sure.
that bed may be enclosed, and that might just be how they transport or how they carry equipment. Because there's a lot of equipment to be carried for crime scene.
Right. Not on the same side as a crime scene, but I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, Steve. I just want to point out every part of it is that it is on the south side of Deer Creek. So,
well, that's the difference. You see, and from my world, as far as processing crime scenes, you don't work crime scene from within the crime scene. You work the crime scene from outside the crime scene in. And so even across the creek.
Very well. Thank you. And see, that's why I like asking Steve, because Steve freaking knows. At least has an idea of what normal professional ethic could be, and that's a perfectly reasonable explanation, and I have no reason to disagree with that whatsoever. I only wanted to note that my mind saw it differently than it ever did before, and I'm not saying it means a damn thing, but I just wanted
No,
your guys'
and I'm
opinion,
not
and
saying that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but that is most certainly
No.
something that we would expect, or wouldn't surprise me
Okay.
that if they recover something from the other side, or even because we do have part of the crime scene on that side, we have the abduction that's on that side.
Got damn fine point too, man. Damn fine point. I ain't arguing with that.
Yeah. So you have the whole abduction, the movement from the abduction point to where they eventually were, the crime scene was processed, and so there's a continuation of that crime scene from the first contact to the final contact.
Point noted. Thank you.
Point noted. Yeah. Steve, you almost ready for your trip?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I was practicing my drone driving today.
Were you?
Oh yeah.
How was it?
Drone driving.
Yeah. So that's going to be very interesting. Hopefully I can get in there, and I don't know if the leaves are going to cooperate with me. Hopefully they fall early, and I can get something, but if not, I'll just go back when the leaves are done. But I want to try to beat the weather.
Yeah.
But there's some control tests I need to run out there, and that will answer a lot of questions that a lot of people, if I can get access to certain areas, and which I'm going to be trying to get.
Yeah.
You need me to call Kay Weber for you?
Do what?
You need me to call Kay Weber for you?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, she lives in
Arizona right now, but I'll call her.
Well, she moved though from there, right?
But now I had another person that was going to contact them. I hadn't heard back from, but yes, that's one access I've got to get, and then of course the other. I don't know if I will be able to be successful, but I can try. I hate to walk up the middle of the creek, but I will if I have to.
Yeah, right.
That's what we love about you.
Well, that's why he's gonna do a couple backflips on the bridge, and then he's gonna rappel down in. He's gonna do a couple little
bungee. He's gonna bungee.
Do you know why when I was doing the backflips out those windows to test, the reason they chose me to be the first one to do the backflips out each of the windows, I think it was like a 7th-floor building, was I was the biggest one in class, and they said if the rope held with you, it wouldn't break for anyone else. And,
yeah.
And I said, okay.
Well, you can't argue the logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about, or anything at all? Because I don't know, we're coming up to the 2-hour mark. I don't want to keep Adam or Steve or Derek. Well, Derek's probably enjoying this with his drink.
It's actually gone. It's gone. But
yeah.
No, I just want to say, look, I'm happy, regardless of whatever's going on with all this sort of, not that there's any creator infighting, whatever. Here's what I know. The shows I like, the 5 or 6, when a friend of mine's kid went missing, they lost sleep to help me out. So I know good people that do things not for their own benefit, but for someone else's. And I love all you for it. And you got my loyalty, all of you. So.
Yeah. Well, if Steve likes me, I feel like everyone else should.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I do come here for one purpose at night, and I apologize for coming and breaking into your shows in the evening, but it is one way I do unwind.
Mm-hmm. I always just seem like what I really like about it is the fact. Actually, you know what? In chat, do us a favor. Why do you come here? Do you like it? Besides Delphi, okay, everyone's Delphi, okay. But do you guys like the structure of it and what we do? Because I just like the fact that we can talk about things, we can joke around together, and keep it heavy at times and lighthearted at other times, and it's like an I don't know, fun space. Really, I like talking with people. I enjoy people's company. I do, even though I don't like people that much.
Me too.
But it's a different thing when it feels like it's like a family thing, and that's how this always feels to me. It's like when the little traders come in, or the little whatever come in. It's like, get out of our family, stay away, go away.
But we know they're all here. We know everyone's here for Deb. We know that.
And where is Deb? She was
here.
What
Everybody's got
happened
good
to her?
taste, and they're here for Deb.
Yeah, Deb, she's not like it wasn't a regular live night. Adam just went and helped me out because Blaine didn't show up. You came and helped me out. Steve came and helped me out here. And so and then
always on.
Paige Turley had just messaged me back because I said, like, Paige, come on, like somebody. CD, if you're watching me, dude, I miss you, dude. I love you. Even though I know CD, he has kids and stuff like that, so it's really, especially when they're younger, right? It's not like Alexa too. Like, they're at an age though where you can kind of go like, okay, leave me alone, go to bed or something like that, play. But CD has like a really young one there, and family first always.
I can't wait until the show after I leave Delphi and I come here and I turn on your show and they do a step-by-step analysis of Steve and dinner.
Steven, you're right.
But,
I mean, I can hardly wait till you get back, and then then you can talk about it. We can see pictures. Deb can tell us about your lunch date.
Because she said her husband is great at analysis, and I thought,
wait, are you going to pick his brain?
Oh no, no, I'm not qualified for that. But I'm almost sure that he'll know everything about me in probably about 3 minutes.
Yeah. So wait, so you're meeting Deb and the husband?
Do what?
You're meeting Deb and the husband?
I imagine. I don't know. I think that's part of the ambush.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
You Mrs. Steve, Deb, Mr. Deb, and Peru.
I know. Deb, you have
that sounds fun.
Purdue.
Paparazzi, look out.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Next time for sure. See, I knew his ears were in here. Love you, CD. Love you, dude. Yeah. Not so much this chick right here.
Oh, we love Steffa.
Yeah. Support with Steffa earlier.
Hello, Steffa, before I get in trouble. Hello.
Yeah.
I like this format. I like this format a lot because it's not lighter. People can say it's lighter or whatever. When you're dealing with the serious stuff, you're just as serious as everybody else. But I like everyone's moral code, and I like the hearts on people, and everybody's going to make a little mistake here and there. And if you're, moving on, and I don't know. I just think, but there is something with you three as a core group that it's a great, it's a good chemistry. So whoever put that together has an eye for talent.
Well, it's not that we put it together. Yeah, of course. Like, it's not that we put it
Hi,
Adam.
Adam, I knew that already. I was trying to.
Like I said, it just fell together. Because Deb was in chat, Adam was in chat. Adam I think I made an offer for someone to come on live or something like that. Then is that how it went, Adam? Then Adam came on live, and
imagine that I was like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, and then Deb was always promoting in chat and stuff like that.
Who did she accuse you of being, Adam?
No, the first time I
Adam,
started
who did Sonny?
I didn't have a picture on my avatar, and she did not like that. She was like, "I don't trust you. You don't have a picture on your avatar."
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I bet. Who are you?
Yeah. So it just fell together, and I know I'm a hard ass sometimes and stuff like that. Like, so, for instance, I'm just gonna say this because when people call me a narcissist, I actually laugh because I am so not a narcissist. But what I am is,
I don't need to take anyone's shit. I am strong enough in my personality of who I am that I do not need to come online and take anyone's shit to tell me certain things.
You
or,
broke up there.
tell
Could you
me.
repeat that word?
Yeah, I know. But it's just that, like, sometimes when people go, "Oh, Sunny, she gets mad and she'll just kick you and block you, and she's just a narcissist and stuff like that," and it makes me truly laugh because sure, I get defensive, sure, like some people, maybe even stronger. This was built in from my grandma and my mom. I always had to fight for my spot in my family. I always had to be like, "Hey, hello, can you guys shut up?" So I can, it was, so I was always fighting. I know it's hard to believe, right? But anyways, right, when you're 53, I don't have to take anybody's shit.
No,
I don't have to listen to someone cut me down or put me down. So it's not about narcissistic. It's being confident in myself to know who I want in my life, who I don't want in my life. So there's a difference there between narcissistic and thinking, "Oh, I'm the greatest, I'm the best, I'm this." Never ever been that way. Joking around, sure. Right, Adam? We all know I'm the
Absolutely.
best, right, Steve? Right there? Okay, shut up.
I think you're the greatest, and I think you're the best. I don't know if that makes me a narcissist, but I think you're wonderful.
And
if that makes me a narcissist, then I accept it.
No. I come on here with
what
a
Kate
purpose.
said.
What'd you say? What did Kate say?
I like what Kate said here. Just because you guard your fence and your boundaries, doesn't mean you're a narcissist. That's healthy.
Yeah. It's just that word gets used so often, and if somebody doesn't, overused, yeah. And if somebody doesn't like,
buzzword.
Yeah. And it's just like those words never have an impact on me. They literally do not. I might go, "Hey, dear, I'm gonna block."
As a narcissist would say.
Yeah, as a narcissist. Right? I mean,
I love that.
I can't win with nothing, but the bottom line is that money and that will never rule me ever as a person. What I do and what I contribute in my life and to others is how I roll, and that will always be. So that's why nobody can ever break this force. Right, Steffa? And you guys, Nicole, everyone, Powerpuff Chicks? No, you're not going to beat me down, take me down. Like I said, you can hate and I'll still create. Right, Steve? Steve comes in here because he's like, "I love that face."
Steve's like, he just wants to.
Oh, I think what Steve thinks usually when I'm doing like that, he's like, "Sonny, I'm going to put you in these handcuffs. I swear, one day I'm going to put you in those handcuffs." Yeah. I'm put a freaking Velcro tape or duct tape over my mouth. I'll be like, "Steve, listen."
I'm going to guess about Mr. Steve here. I want to make an assertion about Steve. I don't know him at all personally, obviously. I just know that when he was, working I bet you that he played pranks on people. He has a completely huge sense of humor, but he's a classy guy, and you're not going to see it on a show. But I could just get this sense that he is a total smartass. Steve, am I right?
Well,
no, you could be terrible now. Oh my God!
I mean, you couldn't be more wrong.
Steve has a lot of witty comments. I love Steve's little jib jabs that he puts in a comment when he's in the chat there. Like, do you know what I mean? He joins in the fun in a sense, and with these little comments with it. And that's the side of Steve. Yeah.
Steve knows what he's doing.
The biggest compliment I ever got from another officer was I was working a part-time job, which in law enforcement, that's all you do is work part-time jobs. And my employer was talking to another officer and said, "That fellow there is the biggest a-hole I ever met in my life." And the officer told her, says, "Well, when you're honest, you can be an a-hole."
Yeah.
Something to that too. Yep.
What'd you say? What was the part that you said, Steve?
That when you're honest, you can be an a-hole.
Mm-hmm. No, I just wanted you to say that. Can you say that one more time? One more time, Steve. I couldn't quite hear that.
Sonny's an a-hole too, though. That's the thing. That's why you guys got a rapport because you're.
Oh my God, wasn't that funny? Sorry, but with Alexa the other night, like I'm literally going, "No." She'd say, "Can you hear me?" And I'm like, "Nope, can't hear you."
Oh, that was
like,
hilarious.
"Can you hear me?" And
it was a little mean, but it's funny.
A little mean, Sonny.
And I'm like, all I could think of was Deb in my head. And then
my
Alexa's
face
like,
turned red a little bit, and I wasn't even on camera. I mean, I was like, "Holy crap! I can't believe you just did that to that poor woman."
well, the
She
thing
is
was,
so sweet.
is that actually wasn't listening to me because I kept going, no, Alexa, I can hear you. And she'd go, Dimitri. And I'm like, no, Alexa, I can hear you. And then she'd be right back. You know, and I'm just like, no. I was so big. Yeah, I don't.
You would have, Sonny, you would have liked my science teacher, my biology teacher in high school. Back in those days, kids that were, and this isn't funny, but this is the kind of sense of humor. You know, the kids that were deaf had the hearing aids, you know what I mean? And they were kind of big. And back in those days, if you hit a tuning fork, it would make them beep real loud. And so he would just be doing whatever he was doing, and he would hit that tuning fork on the underside of his desk, and he would cause all those kids that, you know, to really, really not have a good time. And the rest of the kids, he is a real jerk, but it was good fun, you know, I guess for everybody but those kids. I mean, I'm sorry about that. Look, I didn't do it, and you either laughed or you got a bad grade. So
yeah, he was a great teacher.
Enabler.
Well, I was gonna say, and I know you haven't yet, but when are you gonna have a guest on your show one day, or do you just kind of like to keep it simple? I'm not gonna use.
No,
the small living room over there.
I have to get up to a certain, you know, I haven't. It's one thing when you interview criminals. But I have to work on my social skill sets to try to be able to get up to y'all's level. Y'all have a great rapport with individuals. I mean, but I just, you know, it's hard for, you know, I can go to the barber shop and talk to anyone and debate and have a great dialogue. But as far as doing it across this media that we have here is different, and I will be having some. Actually, when I go up and I start visiting some of these families, the option is open for them if they want to be interviewed or not, and not that I would work any less for them if they don't.
Yeah, I know.
But that will be something that I will be offering the families to bring out their stories. And I do, you know, I'm impressed with, you know, the most intelligent, one of the most intelligent people I've seen out here is Alexa. Extremely dedicated, extremely professional.
Thought you were going to say Sunny, but damn it, Alexa. Okay, go on.
No. But now, you know, there's a lot of good professionals out there. You know, you can look across YouTube channels. There's a lot of good cops out there that trying to do things, and I'd love to talk to CD across the table, or Cop Facts. You know, sit down and just do a show at such in a relaxed situation. The old choir practice, as law enforcement used to say. But at some point, I will be bringing professionals in. I just haven't decided when.
Yeah.
I
was going to say,
I see you guys sitting around a table. There's a fireplace, and you're actually there with them, and you guys have a real honest, open discussion. It's a whole new angle. I love it. I don't know if that's what you want to do, Steve. I'm just saying. Like a fireside chat almost.
I know. I love the
lot to be said for those. There's a lot to be said for those.
Oh, that reminds me. I see. One of my favorite things to do is a fire. Like I'll freaking turn on a fire thing on the freaking computer in summertime. Ooh, Christmas is coming. This background is going to change, people. I know, just because you reminded me of that. And Steve, Alexa, I sell her out for about $250 an hour. Alexa, shut up. Okay, okay, we got a bargain.
He's gonna have to save his money up if he wants Deb and Alexa.
Well, you know what? See, Steve is more like a Deb. Deb, she doesn't like to interrupt, and sometimes, you know, she has to in order. She knows. Lewis felt that the other night because people can overtalk each other, right? Because we're chatterboxes. You're a chatterbox up there. Steve's not a chatterbox. As much as just waits.
Up Deb here, waits this top corner chatterbox.
You know, CD's a chatterbox. He likes to talk too. So some of us can just easily do it, right? Whereas Deb, when she came on the live, mind you, I knew it. I knew as soon as she did it once, she was gonna be whatever. But Deb and Steve are more like a similar species to me. They like to do you know what I mean? They just kind of wait their turn quietly. Where no, and honestly, because I remember Deb saying to me and Adam, like, honestly, like, how do you guys do it? Like, you guys just make it look easy in a sense, really, because some people can chatter no problem.
Right.
Like, like when me and Lewis were doing a live the other night, Steve, like there was, so we knew what we were going to talk about for the gist of it, but we spent the next 10 minutes just goofing off in the back room. And then it was like, okay, YOLO, let's go live. And then, you just run with it, because I just like, sometimes I just like to run with things sometimes. And other days we have a specific thing that we're kind of talking about. But Steve and Deb are the planners. Like, that's not my forte like that. I'm just not good at doing that. Besides when I make all videos.
Well, Steve, if you want to plan, we've got an okay right here. CD said, True Crime Web, I like the idea. We can definitely do it. Choir practice ended with an old squad I worked with back in 03, 04. We had some good times after the tour, though.
I love that. Yes.
And that's a common term for law enforcement, is choir practice.
Yes. Whatchamacallit uses that all the time.
You guys have each other's emails. I'm sure you guys could email each other.
CD's a little bit more expensive. $500, Steve. $500.
Wow.
That's getting some quality too as well. And if you want Alexa and Steven, or Alexa and CD, well, I don't know. Could offer you something like a bonus package there. Yeah, I'm just kidding. All right. No. But yeah, Steve, I mean, I look forward to it one day because, as you do, bring some on. Love the fact that Alexa was able to, bring up that letter and make us learn some things from that. Just like I like your expertise and CD's expertise in there and stuff like that. Because again, it's not my forte. And that's why tonight it was like, shit, Blaine. I wanted to talk about the inside the jail, and obviously it's from a different angle, but it's the same thing. Or what she said.
and you need a Blaine for that.
Who is that anyway? Get her off the screen.
You need a Blaine to talk about the inside the jail. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't get one side of the law, so
I need a jailhouse interview. Get a hold of Blaine.
Yeah. Pretty much. Well, because I know that, it was more about the fact of, because there's one side that actually plays the games and plays the cons against each other or does things and all that stuff. But yet, from the same token, the police officers would see what goes on, in a sense, and probably Steve, would you actually think that it would be kind of equal, that as much as they do certain things that pretty much everything that they do?
What? Who does?
So would you say that, for instance, in a jail or whatever, that just as much as the convicts that are in there know how to say get money out of people, have, like I said, pay for bodyguards or the guards or whatever. So what I'm saying is, do you think that the convicts, in a sense, that do all the different games playing or talking, do the LE know exactly everything that goes on in there as well? Like, meaning no wool being pulled over your eyes. Like, are you learning anything out of them, or do you just already know that they do this, they do that?
Well, you always know that they're working together for one cause, and that's their own benefit,
right?
Either to escape, and you don't know everything that's going on in there. You don't know who's being abused. They're their own society, and they have their own values, and they protect those values inside the jail. And sometimes we have to step in and break up certain gangs, or back in the day we did not. I worked in the jail for like 2 years, and then I went on into the road. I only think I worked 2 years in jail, maybe like 18 months.
Yeah.
But as you go through the process and your career advances, most of those interactions that we had with jail was that the only time that we came back in them jail is when we brought prisoners in, or when it got out of hand and the jailers couldn't handle what was going on, and they brought in specialized teams or some of the, whatever we had to do to control. But now some people work their whole career as a correctional officer, and I give them credit. Working inside in a closed environment when you're outnumbered 15 to 1, 20 to 1, I much rather and preferred to work the streets where only 2 or 3 people would ever plan to attack me. I like 2 or 3 against me versus 15 against me. And so I respect the correctional officer.
Right.
Yeah. Can I
Sure.
One thing I've never understood is if you're a correctional officer or whatever, I just don't understand why these idiots would bring in things for the inmates, risking their entire career, their job, record on their plate. I don't get it. And yet there seems to be an abundance of them.
Well, I mean, it's all about morale and morals. Some people have low morals. They don't care. They're there for a buck.
That's true.
And so,
right.
Just because you put on a badge, don't mean that you can't be, that certain people won't fall to a level of selfishness and what's in it for me.
Well, exactly. What's in it for me, Steve?
That's the problem. That's the problem of feeling like a victim when you're not. As soon as you take a victim mentality, when you ain't a victim, you don't mind who you screw over in the process to get back at the system.
True. That's true.
That's true. That's the way to cop out on life. That's the way to cop out on life right there.
This one right here, Steve. How intense are those hiring polygraphs for police department? How deep do they go?
I don't know. I never had to take one. I came in before they even offered them. I came in before they even did the psycho or analysis, where you had to go in and do that. Now that's common now, but when I was hired in, see, I'm a second generation officer. My father worked with my former boss most of his career. My father went in the 60s, and when he retired in the 80s, I went in. And I never was exposed to any of that. Now, later generations, and it's quite common with some of the largers that they will do those, that you have to go in and do all the testing and make sure your mental capacities or outlooks meet the profile of what they want in a good officer. Is that beneficial? I don't know. I've seen some of this newer generations officers that I worry about.
Yeah.
So, Steve, what you're saying is you could be a psychopath and we wouldn't know.
Well, you are talking to a man. I was a sniper, and there's certain characteristics of individuals that you that's as close as you'll ever get into some of the analysis, and because there's certain people that can't handle stresses. And when you're sitting there and you're having to plan a justifiable homicide, some people can do
that. Seriously, I wouldn't put myself in that position. I wouldn't put the community in that position. I can't handle shit like that. The one place I'm cool is on the road, because that's what I do for a living. I drive. No at-fault accidents, 35 years, 500,000 miles. We've all heard the story, but I'm saying to put myself in that situation, there's not a chance. Leave that to somebody with that demeanor and that mentality.
Yeah, I went to school with a lot of people that when we went out there for the testing, and they try to stress you out as much as they can, because there's only a limited amount of stuff that you can do to an individual in sniper school and all these schools and stuff. But I was in classes with people that couldn't even take the stresses of classroom.
I'm stressed out talking about it. I'm not lying.
Oh, wait. I know what I was going to say. I really like your phone, Steve.
The what?
Phone. Your
What
phone.
about my phone?
I like it.
Your phone.
Oh,
Then
you
we
the
had
one,
that.
Where's the
the one in
phone?
the back.
Oh,
How's
you
that?
got it. What do you got?
I know.
Oh,
but
oh yeah.
Isn't it so weird to think that that's like a old age thing that was from
It's
the past,
retro.
from the kids' movies? Yeah. Yeah, let's see it. Steve, hold it up. Can
Oh
you hold it
yeah,
up?
I could sell that. I could
Hello.
sell that on my vintage eBay store, no problem.
Yeah. It actually made me laugh in that
Mhm.
picture that the guy drew. And I seen that, like, because they
The
still
phone
have
on the
the
wall.
phone. Yeah. And I was like, hey.
Yeah. Kids now don't understand what the term hang up the phone means. Because they're like, why would you hang up the phone?
Yeah. Alexa, which creator are you speaking about? Is this when you were in a while back or something?
I think she's talking about Aaron Moore.
Here's
Oh,
my vest. Anybody want to read what's
What
on
is
my
that?
vest?
Yeah,
can't
so
see
that.
This is
Mist?
my last vest
I
I
do.
had when I was in law enforcement. See what it says?
Missed me.
You're not a smart ass though.
Hey, can I see that smiley face again? I'm just kidding.
Stop, Sonny.
on there.
See what I mean? She's good.
Oh, no nose. No nose. We know
Yeah,
what that means.
I know. It says a lot about you, Steve. No nose on there. Yeah.
Well, I missed the part about no nose. What does that mean?
Well, it says Alexa, can you remind him what that means? It was something
I never have
about.
it. None of mine had noses either.
Yeah.
I did a whole
And
line
you know
of
what's funny? I draw a nose.
I don't draw.
I don't want to missay it because if I remember about the no nose, it was again inconsistency or wait. Thank you. You there? Feel okay.
I thought it was something that was missing in your life.
Oh, let's see. Maybe I'm forgetting. Alexa, come on, Dr. Alexa, chop. Quit talking over there. Let's go.
I thought
I
that
didn't know
nose
what
meant something was missing in your life.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
I don't know if she's ever analyzed writing on a bulletproof vest though before.
She may have.
Do you think it's time to debunk the Gabe Ellis meth theory, or is the drunk revenge theory?
I know. Yeah. I have no theories. A straight from the horse's mouth. I cannot.
Well, subliminals, then that's what I want. Is that she says it means that something is missing. Well, my message on my vest is that you missed me, so it ties right in.
It's perfect, absolutely perfect. Steve knows.
There you go.
Missed me. Right, something's missing. Yeah, that was awesome, actually. And Adam, I don't even know why I was thinking about that because that was for something else. But yeah,
right.
Something's missing would make sense.
Also, could be a missing connection. Oh, I like that.
Oh, let's get deeper into that now. Okay, so you guys, tomorrow night, there's going to be Unsolved Crimes Uncovered. Oh my goodness, this one has to stick in my brain on here. Right. Unsolved Crimes Uncovered will be with us tomorrow night, and Deb and Adam. And
I think Deb is gone tomorrow night, and I'm going to be a little bit late.
Oh, really?
Not much, but a little bit.
Fine.
But
sure
I need to tell Alexa, my eyes were dotted and my E's are small. I don't know what that means either.
That means a small penis, Steve. Of course it is.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus, Sonny.
Okay.
He didn't even
I feel
blink
like you just follow me in the bathroom and watch me take a leak.
Well, we all know if Steve would have asked about the shoes, it would have been a different story. Yeah.
He wears a 13.
Yeah. Small.
It depends on manufacturer.
Size 23.
If you need to know anything about Steve, just ask me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's just weird that you keep notes.
I do my due diligence.
Yeah, and it's not like structured notes. It's like here's some smiley faces and here's little hearts and I think he's working on his cryptic notes. Is what he's working towards. It's gonna. Oh, can I ask you guys something? Because I haven't looked into it.
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer is a killer from the past. He did a lot of killings.
Yeah,
Why is he back out in the public?
Because there's a show on Netflix called Dahmer. They did like a serialized version of it with Evan Peters playing Jeffrey Dahmer, and it was pretty unnerving. I watched it.
I'll be honest with you guys. I if it's been solved, I don't like gruesome details. So even with this case, it's not the fact. What intrigues me about this is it hasn't been solved. That it's cold. For some reason, I'm sort of obsessed with 70s cold cases. I don't know if that's some kind of weird nostalgia, like that's when I grew up or something weird or something. I don't know. But like the famous ones from the 70s, I'm really intrigued with. But at the same time, if it's been solved and there is an answer, I really don't need to know any details because it just is it hurts me too bad. It just hurts me too bad. I can't know that.
Yeah. One
Really?
thing I did want to. You're not allowed to feel that way. I'm taking it away from you.
Am I not a mod anymore? I have to. No, stop. I mean, you guys know what I mean. No, it's like I said. It's like, but some people go to Charlie Manson's gravesite and have a birthday party for him every year.
Deb.
I can't stand that. I can't stand that. Deb. Listen, no offense, Deb, but there's other spots in the desert to visit or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like idolizing evil.
Derek, are you saying that after Delphi is solved, we're never going to see you again?
Yeah. He'll move on.
No, there are plenty of cold cases. What are we talking about here? Yeah. Plenty of cold cases.
You know what, though, Derek,
and
I'm
kind
of the same way there.
Yeah. Unless it's used to analyze something that needs to be brought out to solve the current case or whatever that we're talking about. That's a different story. That's showing some kind of precedent or the, what do you call it, the pattern or something like that. I get that, but just go on about famous serial killers. I'm not saying you at all, Sonny, because you don't ever do that. I'm not saying that, but some people do. They're obsessed with going over these fine details of these. It's what I hate about the condensed versions of these discovery shows that are a half hour long, and they pack, no matter what the friggin' story is, it's packed into a half hour as if everyone's story is the same. I can't stand that crap. And so when I ran across this whole thing a few months back, I didn't know all this was going on. With the sleuths, and it just seems so much more genuine to me than any canned, sort of A&E show in a half hour could ever do. That's all.
Gotcha. I was going to say, I'm just going to ask one more question, and that's all I need to ask tonight, because Alexa touched on it earlier a little bit, and I think Steve's probably going to agree with this question, maybe some of you too. But my thing is that I do like to know how a killer's mind works. I do like to know that stuff. I do like to watch 48 Hours and watch. I hate the part about the killing, but that's not the part that interests me because obviously my heart can't.
Right.
It's too sad to know, like, to put it towards that side, but yet I am intrigued by, for instance, crime scenes, and and that's why the crime scene for Delphi intrigues me in lots of ways, because it's a disturbing crime scene, and yet it's telling about the people involved in a sense, but I do like to see I like how people's mind thinks. I like to learn how people's mind thinks. There's some idiots out there. You're just like, I don't even want to know what your mind thinks. But yet, by the same token, you do, because it's like, how do you even think that way? You know what I mean? But when it comes to the true crime of killers and stuff like that, it does interest me how, Kelly Aarons was saying the same thing. Like, she's like, I want to know how Kegan's mind works. Like, I want to kind of understand. And that's kind of how she insert herself into it or whatever. But by the same token, if he was if she could offer up information, I mean, if I can play a game with someone, in a sense that I have no feelings towards whatsoever, and I need to use them for some information or something like that, and I need to play a convict. Someone said to me, hey, play this role. I'd be like, sure, I can do it for you. No problem. But Steve, you obviously would like, that's just part of your job that you were doing anyway, understanding. But do you actually is that actually?
And I
something
want to
you
make
like?
a distinction that forensically, I'm speaking forensically. I understand that you would need to know that stuff forensically, and that there are forensic curiosities and patterns and things like that. I'm talking about, it's to me, it's the difference between understanding like the Second Amendment and going, I have the right to own a gun, or having a basement full that that you need to like masturbate about thinking later about it because you're so obsessed with some shit that you know what I mean. It's a different thing, and worshiping like evil like that is just
Yes,
people want to act
not
normal and
worshiping.
act like that's normal. To me, that's not normal. To
Yeah,
make someone like a Bin Laden or a Manson or one of these users of real life a hero or any kind of friggin' sort of demigod or something, how about you take somebody like that pilot that landed on a friggin' river and call him a hero? I mean, just anybody else,
Sully.
but not Charlie Manson.
yeah.
So yeah.
Um,
No, that was
Steve,
the
what
one
about
to
you?
work with Mulder on
Okay.
them UFO cases. Oh, no, Scully. Never mind.
Oh, Scully. Yeah.
Sully was the pilot.
Mm.
Steve, you
Steve?
believe in UFOs, Steve?
Well, wait, hold on. Let me ask him. Let him ask the first question.
Sorry.
Then he can answer about UFOs.
Damn.
Okay, first
I always
off,
ask him the dumbest questions, man.
No, you don't.
I do. I asked him what. No, I
okay.
did know. One time I asked him what his favorite '70s detective show was. It's like, dude, this guy's trying to solve murders, and I'm frigging around here. I'll say it for the
Oh,
email.
Derek,
I'm
you're too
sorry.
hard on yourself. Go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
No, when you're dealing with these individuals, that when you're talking to them, their whole purposes in life is trying to manipulate you so that they can control the narrative. And so you put yourself at extreme danger if you ever think that you know exactly how they're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking about one thing in life is how they can use you and how they can use your relationship with them. It's a very sinister way of thinking, but it will prolong your life when you're dealing with certain individuals. That if you give them a chance, they'll take that pen and stab you in the throat with it.
Right. Yeah.
And so,
Absolutely.
and so it's just a different mentality that, and law enforcement, that we look at it from that standpoint that we're a target, that we're dealing with constantly the worst that society has to offer. And and it's very hard on some people. Some people can't ever adjust out of that life. But some people can handle it. I was very fortunate. I was able to handle it. Or I think I have. I think I'm relatively stable, but I hope I am.
You see?
But
I mean,
Alexis,
I don't see Mrs. Steve holding up a sign saying "Help me." I think everything's fine.
oh yes.
Yeah.
And that's
I have emails to disprove that.
probably so. But you have to be cynical when you're dealing with these people and understand that either when you're transporting them and it's their last chance at escape, they're extremely dangerous. When you're interviewing them and they decide that they have nothing else to lose and they want to do suicide by cop, there's so many threats out there, and that's part of the job.
Yeah. And I don't think enough people respect that, to be honest with you. I think that
I refuse to watch a shootout. I refuse to watch a shootout on YouTube that doesn't end positively for Elliot. I will not watch an officer get shot. I can't support it. It makes me so ill. And I'm not some kind of, suck up here. I mean, I'm just saying, like, to see, or EMS or anyone that's here to protect and serve, when it's a clear present danger to them, unless they're winning that confrontation, they shouldn't even be allowed on TV because it's so damn disturbing. It really is. It just disturbs the heck out of me. I mean,
right.
But there's some that are so great. Like the other day, I was watching this one, and this officer, high-speed chase through Arizona or somewhere, nobody else around. He starts shooting through his own window with his AR-15 at the car in front of him. It was pretty intense. I ain't gonna kid you.
Wow.
I can't even imagine.
I used to be obsessed with that show, Live PD. I would watch it like every night.
Oh yeah.
With Dan Abrams.
Oh,
I don't know.
I know, but I liked that he wasn't on the. He wasn't like he wasn't one of the cops because he's not a cop, but
right.
But he was the producer of the show.
Wasn't he like some? Never mind.
Well, I was going to say
he's a news guy, or he was.
So Derek, what did you ask Steve?
Hey.
Oh,
he asked if I believed in UFOs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, UFOs. Right? Do you believe? Yeah, it's a simple question, or the possibility. I mean, I'm not. Whatever.
Well, you have to. What is the definition? Do I see things that fly in the sky? I don't know what they are. That's technically a UFO.
Yeah.
You know what I'm asking. Come on. You know what I want to
know.
Well,
they call it something different now. What do they call it, Steve? Actually,
okay.
It's not called
UAP.
Aerial
UAP is
phenomenal.
What they call it.
Yeah, some type of aerial phenomenon.
Yeah. Unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP.
Or something like that. And
do you think
do you
think any of these things are out of this world? In other words, do you think?
Yes, they're out of this world.
From another place.
I think a lot of it's classified information that our government is a lot of that is. When I was a kid, nobody thought that a wristwatch Dick Tracy was talking into would ever exist.
Right.
In a cartoon book, in the comics. And now, where are we now? We're far past that.
Yeah. Like, do you believe in that whole Area 52 thing?
Oh.
Area 51.
Yeah, that thing. Is it Area 51? Did I forget that it was Area 51, really?
Oh, our government.
Canada.
Yeah, no.
I'm from Canada.
I'm sure that those areas exist for our defense. So, more power to them.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right,
like
everybody.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalker Ranch?
Have you not heard of that site?
No, never. What is it?
It's a ranch. I believe it's in Utah. That there's just been a lot of abnormal activity on people have speculated or people have experienced.
Is that the same ranch?
They made shows about it. Yeah.
Go to like one of those.
No.
Really? I know that was the Bunny Ranch. Come on.
Well, Sonny. Skinwalker. Why would they call it Skinwalker? No, but it's called Skinwalker.
Because I'm probably not the best person to answer this, but the Skinwalker is was it an Indian term?
I think a shapeshifter. I think is what it is.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah.
Oh, a shapeshifter. Okay.
Oh, so you.
No, never heard of it.
Yeah.
Never.
There's a lot out there. I don't know about any of it, but I do. I mean, I just wonder. I like to know goofy little things about people. That was my one goofy question. I won't go on about it.
Oh no.
Hey,
no, I'm not either way.
Go ahead.
I look at it that if they do exist, they look at us. If you have that technology, we're somewhere along. Like I look at a anthill. That if there's such a intelligent life out there that can do what we have no idea of what can be done, then of course
there's some intelligent life right here, Steve. Just saying.
I know. Oh, I never want to be the smartest man in the room. If I'm ever the smartest man in the room, we are at a critical mass.
Steve, how many people are in your room right now?
We're at critical mass right now.
Hey, Steve.
Red alert.
Steve, what do you think of Adam's background? Does it, I don't know, turn you on a little? Doesn't it?
The lava lamp is.
What is it?
No, I like the blue. I mean, y'all have a new theme. I'm waiting for Derek to get the blue for her.
Right. Deb needs to get a green screen so she can have instead of her bedroom all the time. Yeah, she needs to join in with the coloring, right?
I got the blue light now, so I'm right with y'all.
Right.
You got that?
Actually, you know what, Steve? I think you just pimp it out. You need some LED lights wrapping around that thing.
This thing was $17. I was like, that was pretty good for $17. Mm-hmm. And I can make it any color I want.
I think they all look great. I mean,
hey, Steve, I have a question. And then you're going to wait.
Nice.
Wait. What are the dates you're gone from? What are the dates that you're gone? Shoot. You're gone during Halloween, aren't you, Steve?
No.
He's back.
You're not? You're not?
Yeah, Adam knows more about my trip than I do.
Shit, why do I always forget the dates? I just hear 3 weeks in my head, then it was like whatever. You're not fun? Hey,
Adam has his
Steve.
itinerary.
Okay. Do you want? Okay, on Halloween. Okay, Halloween. You want you and Mrs. Steve, and we'll all do up our face mask in a sense. Like we'll all be a Halloween person. Do you want to join us?
What
Yes,
kind of
They're
face
trying to
mask?
make you gloss, man.
Do you want my that one?
Yeah. No.
I didn't volunteer.
Yeah, you have to. I think it would be great. You want to come? You want to come to the party, Steve?
What
Sonny
day of the week
has
is
it all planned out.
When is Halloween on this year?
Well, let me just
Sunday,
tell you.
I believe, isn't it?
It is on. No, it's actually
Monday.
on a Monday. Adam is wrong. It's on a Monday. Yeah, you're not usually doing anything on Mondays too much, are you, Steve?
I might be able to work in something. Mrs. Steve works during those. That's her work time, so she can't do one of your 1 hour marathons.
She doesn't have to come to the party. She doesn't have to come to the party. But yeah, it's just I'm just like thinking about Halloween now because it's coming up, and I'm just like, ooh, let's have fun, people. Let's have fun. Yeah,
Of course. Oh,
right. Halloween party, right?
Mrs.
Halloween party.
Steve, that's one of her favorite days of the year is Halloween.
Well, obviously she can't make it because our parties are too long.
So,
yeah. Anyway.
Straight from the horse's mouth, ET stands for extra testicle, according to Straight from the horse's mouth.
Extra testicle, that's funny.
I like that.
And another little driver. Okay, guys, let's head out of here.
Okay.
Wow.
All three of you, thank you so much for bailing me out a little bit tonight here. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. You know what? That's what's so great about having you guys all as friends and stuff is that you guys have, just like we would always have your back if you needed us. Thank you for having our back as well, and saving this live. Blaine, no, but no, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, you guys. Steve, it was nice to see you in person. You guys all take care, and we'll see you around the block soon.
All right. Thanks, Derek. Steve, just quickly for you, your next live is when? Are you doing one tomorrow?
Oh no, it'd be Thursday, I think. Is that
Thursday?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Thursday and Saturday.
Okay. And yeah. And how are your donations coming along for your your? No, his wife takes care of that part. I know, right? I know.
I have no idea. I don't pay
you know what,
attention
Steve?
to it.
You need to get on the whole merch thing. This is fun stuff. I'm telling you, man.
Mrs. Steve handles all that stuff.
I know, Steve. You just show up to the party on the live, and that's I get it.
Steve's donations are at.
Yeah, I know. Smart ass. Yeah, thank you so much. I think Aaron donated a couple bucks tonight. I think that was it. No, there was some. Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That was it.
Okay. So thank you guys so much for that. And thanks for joining the live with us. And we'll see you tomorrow night again with Unsolved.
Good night, Steve.
Yeah. Night, Steve. We're leaving here. What is it? Frick me, change your name. Gotta change that name. It's like a tongue twister or a head blocker to me. What is it? What is it? I suck. Unsolved Crimes Uncovered. It's because there's 2 U's.
Yeah.
Unsolved Crimes Uncovered. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much.
We will see you tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't forget, please hit the like if you haven't hit the like and the share. That would be great. Yeah. All right. Take care, guys. Have a great night. And thanks again to Steve and Derek for joining us. And
did you almost call him Copfax?
I did. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say cop, and then I was like, wait yeah. I almost you're not Copfax, Steve. I'm so sorry. And yeah, and Alexa, thank you again, as always. And the same with Lewis and Deb. Love you, Deb. Have a good night.
Good night.
No, good night. Good night, guys.